Welcome to Statesboro, Georgia for Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN. It is an overcast Saturday afternoon in town, but perfect football weather and senior day for Georgia Southern as they welcome in the Old Dominion Monarchs on ESPN+. Georgia Southern is coming off a win over Coastal Carolina where they put up the most total yards in the Clay Helton era, 653 yards in that 45-40 victory. They're facing an Old Dominion team that come off their second shutout in program history, defeating Troy 33-0. Welcome to Paulson Stadium. He's Jason Foster, Sky Taylor on sideline. I'm Danny Wall. This is the must-win game for Georgia Southern today. One more win will clinch the Eagles' bowl eligibility. In order to get that win today against Old Dominion, Jason, what's it going to come down to?
Yeah, for the Eagles, it's going to be being aggressive on first down and trying to knock Old Dominion off schedule, getting them into obvious pass situations. And also for the Eagles, they're going to have to make tackles in the open field because they're facing the Old Dominion offense that's keen to making big plays, that has a lot of playmakers out on the perimeter, and a phenomenal quarterback who's able to run the football.
This is also going to be a game that will feature two Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week award winners named this past Monday. On the defensive side for Old Dominion, it's about the senior defensive end Chris Trinidad that won Defensive Player of the Week. He'll be facing Georgia Southern senior running back O.J. Arnold, who was named Offensive Player of the Week after a career performance against Coastal Carolina.
Chris Trinidad had a phenomenal game last week. As you see, he had 2 sacks, but also 2 forced fumbles. But his vision to get into the backfield and make tackles for loss is something that the Eagles are going to have to do a good job handling him up front. Also, he comes through on the block right here, gets to the quarterback again. Just relentless effort to the quarterback. He's going to be a great player for Old Dominion tonight. Then going to O.J. Arnold. He's had a special week last week. He's looking to replicate it again this week as he faces an Old Dominion defense who's keen to taking the ball away. But as you see Arnold come through, busting through for a large gain, phenomenal runs, getting his pass down, able to find the end zone. Not only did he have rushing touchdowns, he also had a receiving touchdown as well as a passing touchdown.
For more on this game this afternoon, we'll send it down to our own Sky Taylor with more.
It's senior day here at Paulson Stadium, and 25 Eagles were honored. Many of them were a part of head coach Clay Helton's first ever recruiting class here at Georgia Southern. But today, they're playing for history. Veterans like O.J. Arnold, Dalen Cobb, and Pishon Wembley are trying to become the first ever Eagles to appear in 4 straight bowl games in their careers. Coach Helton said, look, these guys have believed in my vision from day one, and to get a win today would be a very emotional moment for him and all of Eagle Nation.
Thanks, Sky. Eagles head coach Clay Helton also talked about how the month of November is where you want to play your best football. They're facing an Old Dominion team led by head coach Ricky Ronnie, who talked about the O-line and D-line has been the focal points of the team in their 3-game winning streak, Jason.
Yeah, when your O-line and defensive line play well, typically your team does play well. Old Dominion, as you see the season goes on, they're getting better up front, and it's also leading to their victory. So look for them tonight to try to establish dominance early.
You look at the chances to win for the Eagles, not just today, but also next Saturday against Marshall. That is why this game today is so critical to go ahead and clinch bowl eligibility in your final game at home.
Yeah, you definitely want to try to clinch bowl eligibility while you're at home, obviously in front of your crowd. You're happy with a little bit of momentum. But again, Old Dominion is also looking to end their season on a 2-0 run.
Yeah, the Monarchs 7-3, the best under head coach Ricky Ronnie in his 6th year. The Monarchs 4-2. In the Sun Belt. We already know out of the East Division, James Madison will be going to the Sun Belt Conference Championship, but Coach Ronnie said we're looking to get better every game, and the mantra is to go 1-0 each week, starting here tonight against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, when you're a competitor, you want to win every game, so no matter what the situation, no matter what the record is. So like he said, they're looking to go 1-0, and they'll go back to Virginia happy if they can do that.
Georgia Southern winning their last 2 games, as you see, 3-3 in the league. And really just bouncing back after a tough month of October. You see the Monarchs 4-2, but James Madison, we know they're going to the championship game representing the East. Still a lot to be decided in the West between Southern Miss and Troy, but that win over Old Dominion may have helped the Golden Eagles out quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a big win for them. Also kind of set Old Dominion back, from making the championship game. So they're just looking to bounce back and keep their momentum rolling as they end their season.
We are moments away from kicking things off here at Paulson Stadium. 25 players being honored on Senior Day for Georgia Southern. Scott mentioned a few of them: O.J. Arnold, Marcus Sanders, along with Dalen Cobb, who are a part of Clay Helton's first recruiting class. And Coach Helton just talked about how special it is, especially in this environment of college football, to stay with the same program for all 4 years.
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't see as much, especially have 25 seniors on your roster. Again, senior day is a special day. I still remember the last game I played at Paulson Stadium, so I'm sure these guys will remember this as well. They're looking to close out their home career with a win.
Georgia Southern 4-1 when they play at Paulson Stadium this year. The power of Paulson is something to behold. Coach Helton mentioned that it is indeed real, and we'll need to lean on that power of Paulson here today to wrap up this season at home on a high note.
Yeah, definitely facing a tough team. You want to get your crowd involved, give them something to cheer about early, and just kind of feed off that momentum as they take the field.
Old Dominion won the toss. They had deferred to the second half, so Georgia Southern will get the ball to start this game. As the fans continue to pile their way in the Paulson, final home game of the year and a must-win for the Eagles to clinch bowl eligibility. Josh Hamill set to kick this one off. Dalen Cobb back to receive. And we are underway in Paulson Stadium. Cobb will take it out of the end zone. And will get tripped up across the 20-yard lines. We will see the first of quarterback J.C. French. He's fourth in the Sun Belt in passing yards, and offensive coordinator Ryan Applin just talked about the focus and the mindset that French has had throughout the year.
Yeah, French has gotten better and better every game as the years went along, being more efficient with his passes. He's also using his legs more, and this offense has really been rolling the last couple games, and it's all due to his hard work.
Had 2 touchdowns to interception last week against Coastal Carolina, as the Eagles will start from the 22. You have 4 receivers on the far side of your screen. Empty backfield for French. O.J. Arnold wearing number 0 this week in motion. He catches it on first down and will get across the 25, just short of the 30. O.J. Arnold, what a game he had against the Chanticleers, looking to duplicate that success here today.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game, and Coach Applin's trying to get him involved early, obviously get him into the passing game. Great way to start the game.
Gain of 7 on the catch. Eagles hurry up offense. French taking a shot deep downfield, and it's picked off. Jerome Carter, the safety, on the interception. Then the ball went out. Goes out of bounds. It will stay possession Monarchs, but how about the Old Dominion defense and Carter getting his 4th interception on the season?
And that's something the coaches were aware of, how Old Dominion had taken the ball away all year. And he had Carter just in the right place on a little bit of an overthrow right here. He just kind of gets the ball, reads the quarterback eyes, gets upfield, fumbles the ball right here, but fortunate for him, it does go out of bounds. But a great play by Carter, reading the quarterback eyes right there.
It only took 2 plays for the Monarchs to force a turnover. I mean, that was one of the big pieces in their 33-0 shutout against Troy. It also puts the Monarchs in great field position at the Eagles' 27. So we'll see Colton Joseph, the redshirt sophomore quarterback for Old Dominion. On first down, and in motion, Dawson Johnson. Joseph, near side, pass caught. Trey Brown, the reception. He gets in the red zone. A bit of a homecoming for Trey Brown from Savannah, Georgia. It's about an hour out from Statesboro. Yeah,
Trey Brown's a phenomenal receiver. He possesses a lot of speed, so it obviously makes you get back off of him. But right there, he just runs a quick stop route, catches the ball for 8-9 yards. Great opening play.
You see the numbers for Colton Joseph. He leads the Sun Belt in total offense this year. 2nd and 1. Be a handoff, and breaking free is Devin Roche. Will be short of a touchdown. Tackled inside the 5.
This is Old Dominion's bread and butter play right here. The zone option. You see a nice read right here. With Roche getting upfield, game-saving, touchdown-saving tackle right there.
Sliding in at the very end was Fabo Cheney. Cheney didn't play last week. Back today. Old Dominion was 4 of 5 in the red zone last week over Troy. It'll be 1st and goal from the 2. This is going to be a direct snap up the middle. Touchdown. Travion Hargrove on the direct running back snap. Old Dominion strikes first.
great play call right here by Old Dominion. Set the quarterback off as the running back and have just Hargrove just run up the middle. For the Eagles, they got to get their wits about them, get themselves lined up, see if they can answer this drive.
All it took was 3 plays following the interception by Carter. And just like that, Old Dominion on the board. Hargrove, the senior from Ruston, Louisiana, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. Nathaniel Eichner on the PAT. A bit left, but it's good. 7-0 start for the Monarchs.
Half-back to rate, they pull the guard right here. Literally no one out there for him to block. Again, great play design for Old Dominion. You see 97 wrap around. He's looking for people. Such a nice play.
The try is good. Illegal formation. Defense, number 99, lined up over the snapper. Penalty is
Bigger than ever we bet. Wait on it, put it pain.
Paulson, Old Dominion turning defense to offense on this 7-0 start. It was Jerome Carter with his 4th interception on the season, and then it was a running back direct snap to Travion Hargrove for the score in the red zone.
Yeah, great play design getting by them and getting into the end zone. But for the Eagles right here, they have to get themselves back in the game. Don't change anything you're doing on offense, and don't panic is the most important part right here.
We talk about how it is senior day, and sometimes those emotions can really play a factor before you can lock into a game. How does that kind of change things moving forward, Jason?
Yeah, you're definitely excited to senior day, again, a day kickoff, so the emotions are running high. You want to perform well, but really you just got to settle down, take it all in, and play football.
This is the second day game the Eagles have played in this season. The first was back when Sun Belt Conference play began, when the Eagles were on the road at James Madison. As Cobb will take this from the 4. And he gets rushed by a sea of Monarchs, taken down at the 15. So you talked about just slowing things down. Where does that go for J.C. French making his way back out, as we also look at the impact players for today's game?
Take a look at the impact players right here. I believe they have to find. Yeah, for Georgia Southern, you got to find Camden Brown early, get him involved in the offense. Also, defensively for the Eagles, Aiden Jackson, he's a great tackler, great playmaker. And if you're ODU, again, Jackson Forrester is just a phenomenal player. He's all over the field. And again, we saw a shot of Trey Brown, the early catch. Let him get in open space and make plays.
From the 17 on first down, Arnold, we have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. You see this Monarchs defense is fired up here to start.
Yeah, they're very aggressive. Monarchs show blitz or show pressure, they are bringing it. So Georgia Southern has to be ready to get their eyes up and see where the pressure's coming from to be able to handle this front.
Got the defensive coordinator, Blake Seiler. 2nd and 10. French out to the flat. It's Taylor Bradshaw on the catch and is short of the 20-yard line.
Looking the way Old Dominion's lining up right now, I believe they want to keep everything in front. If you take a look at their linebackers, they're playing with great depth. They're almost 5.5 yards off the ball. Basically want to keep everything in front and eliminate the big plays that Georgia Southern created last week.
So make it 3rd and 7. The Eagles were 4 of 12, 44% overall on the season on 3rd down conversions. 4-man rush. French across the middle. Oh my goodness, Dalen Cobb takes a hit. Flags are out. Jaleel Colbreth, my goodness. And the trainers are immediately checking on Cobb here. We'll hear from our head referee, Scott Broadway.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass, personal foul, defense number 30, hands to the face, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So it's hands to the face on the defensive end, Fred Giles, but what a hit from Jaleel Colbreth, and the trainer's still checking on Cobb right now.
Yeah, that was a crucial blow. As you see Cobb coming across the middle. ODU's just sitting in zone. When he pulls up, shoulder pad to the face mask, that's a crucial hit right there. Hopefully Cobb's okay.
And Cobb is still down on the field right now. Take one more look at this shot from the redshirt junior Jaleel Colbreth. It will be first down Georgia Southern, but right now the concern is with the senior Dalen Cobb still on the field.
And the hit actually appears to be clean. Looked like he led with his shoulder, but I think as French turned him around, he was unable to kind of protect himself and took a shot right to the face.
Teams are huddling up. Some concern from Eagles head coach Clay Helton. Dalen Cobb, one of the 25 seniors that were honored here prior to the start of this game. And we see Cobb, he's up now, but we'll take a quick break here on ESPN+. Positive signs. You see Dalen Cobb, the senior wide receiver, being helped up by the training staff. He is currently being evaluated, but the concern was just the force of that hit that Cobb took from Jaleel Colbreth.
Yeah, that was a crucial hit. He's okay right here. He's up walking off on his own power with a little help, so that's a good sign.
That penalty that the Monarchs had was hands to the face from Fred Giles, so it moved the Eagles up 15 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 35. This Eagle drive will continue trying to turn things around in their second drive after J.C. French on the first drive, throwing his 8th interception of the year. French on the handoff to O.J. Arnold, and it's Jaleel Colbreth once again the first man to get there for Old Dominion.
Yeah, Jaleel looks like he's been in this playbook. He's ahead of the Eagles right here on every play. He's just coming crashing down. Again, all eyes are on O.J. after his performance from last week. They're going to make a different Eagle beat him today.
Coach Ronnie talked about the balanced group that he has in the linebacking department, especially when you have an All-American like Jason Henderson, who medically retired at the beginning of the year, but is next man up, and Colbreth is doing that. Quick throw on second down. This is Amon Green, the tight end, able to stretch out to the 39, going to bring up third down.
Again, third and long. I think this is where Old Dominion wants to be. And so this is where their pressure packages come from. So the Georgia Southern running backs and the O-line need to get their eyes up and worry what pressure is about to come.
3rd and 7. 3 receivers near side for French. French, good protection. Breaks out of the tackle, throws it, incomplete. And the pressure pocket started to collapse a bit as one of the defensive linemen almost got French down, got it out, but got another player down for Georgia Southern. That is Johnny Brown III, the left tackle.
Injury timeout.
Just tough here to start here in the game for the Eagles.
Yeah, again, they got edge pressure right here. JC does a good job of getting away from it, just a little erring on the throw. But again, Old Dominion, they're getting off the football. It's a 3rd and long pass situation. They know the Eagles are not going to try to run the football. This will be a long day for the Eagles offense if they can't get themselves in the 3rd and manageable situation.
Yeah, and you see French here having a word with one of the coaches, trying to just find a way to settle in. You know, had the interception on the first drive, threw the incompletion out on 3rd down. As Brown now made his way up, he'll walk off on his own power, but that is not the start that Georgia Southern wants to have, especially when you saw Dalen Cobb take that big hit, and he has yet to return.
Yeah, definitely not the start you're looking for, not only because of the injuries, but also punting the ball back to a high-powered offense, and the Eagles looking like they're struggling on offense themselves.
Devin Roche deep to return for the Monarchs. Alex Smith set to punt this one away. Ball will drop at the 29 and get a nice Monarch bounce up to the 34. That's where Old Dominion will start this next drive.
And I believe that punt right there got caught up in the wind, kind of made it a very short punt, something that both teams on special teams are probably looking to take advantage of.
You see, you look at the efficiency the Monarchs had against Troy. They almost averaged a first down every play they had.
And they continue that in their first drive they had today. They have it rolling on offense.
Talk about how wind can play a factor. 77 degrees in Statesboro, but 23-mile-an-hour winds. As the Monarchs start from the 34. Joseph on first down. Roche spins out of traffic short of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, going back to the wind, when you're going with the wind, if you're going to take a shot play, it's going to be going in the direction of the wind instead of throwing the ball into it.
Hurry up offense from the Monarchs. Quick throw, far side. Jalen Butler making the catch for the first down.
Yeah, Old Dominion is just playing with a lot more tempo right there. Georgia Southern had a man uncover from not lining up. Old Dominion is just rolling, doing what they want to do at this moment.
First and 10 from the 47. Handoff once again. Up the middle is Roche. Devin Roche is coming off of a big game against Troy. Had 145 yards on the ground in that shutout victory.
Yeah, he's a slither. He just kind of slips through their hole, and picking up 5 and 6 yards. Even though he's small, he does run well in between the tackles.
Part of the three-man running back room, and anybody can get going at any moment for Old Dominion. Got a gain of 6 on that run. In Eagles territory. Joseph gonna keep, bounces out. Joseph breaking through, and you can't forget about the dual threat of Colton Joseph, the quarterback. He runs, he's had 710 yards on the ground and 11 touchdowns, tied for first in the Sun Belt.
He's a very capable runner, and as you see right there, in the great read of the option.
Led by the offensive coordinator, Kevin Decker, in his 3rd year. Ball is dropped. Roche picks it up. MJ Stroud sends Roche down. Stroud, he leads the Sun Belt in tackles for loss.
Yeah, good job of being aware right there. Again, Old Dominion tried to slip another halfback direct. This time, Roche just wasn't ready for the snap.
Second and 17. Joseph gonna keep. Joseph will get those yards back and then some. Sliding down at the 21.
Yeah, that's a very safe call by Old Dominion right there. Faking the pass, coming out the back door, the quarterback counter. Old Dominion does a great job of their receivers getting width. You see how far they are out, almost out of bounds, creating huge running lanes for the quarterback and running back.
Gain of 12 on that run, 3rd and 5. Up the middle is Roche. Breaks out of a tackle. Roche! Touchdown, Monarchs! This fast start continues for Old Dominion as Roche takes it 21 yards for his 2nd rushing touchdown this season.
Yeah, I think Old Dominion did the same thing. They spread you out very, very wide. And if you can make one person miss, there's really no one left on the defense to make a tackle. As you see right there, they had Georgia Southern spread wide. Roche makes another amazing cut, and then just finds the end zone.
We talked about that running back room for the Monarchs, a 3 to 4 headed monster where it makes it hard to defend for anybody. First, it was Catravion Hargrove on the 1st touchdown, Roche on the 2nd, PAT good by Eichner. 14-0 Monarchs over the Eagles with 7:15 to play in the 1st.
Yeah, oh, nice cut right here as he gets downfield, another cut, gets himself into the end zone. Again, we call him a slippery runner because he's small, but he does stay behind his pads, and he sets up his blocks very, very well.
You just see how the touchdown first from Hargrove, now Roche has just taken the energy out of Paulson Stadium. It just seems like once J.C. French threw that first pick on the 2nd play from scrimmage, it was all Monarchs from there on out.
Yeah, so far it is. Georgia Southern's leaking oil right now. They got to figure out a way to stop it. I think they got to find a way to get O.J. Arnold the ball, and also put J.C. French, let him use his legs a little bit, kind of take a playbook from ODU and just run the football to the quarterback.
Well, you see, Georgia Southern giving up the most rushing touchdowns in all of college football, now with 30. And it has been the Achilles heel as the Monarchs scored both their touchdowns on the run. Deep to return is Peyton Plott in place of Dalen Cobb, who was taken out. And Plott will get to the 20.
Looks like the Eagles may be backing up here from a holding call.
During the return, illegal block in the back, return team number 10, half the distance to the goal, it'll be 1st down.
So a block in the back from the linebacker, Jacob Hammonds. It's going to put the Eagles back at the 10-yard line.
As the Eagles offense right here, you're looking for a way to get a 1st down. Right? That's the first goal they need to figure out a way to get the 1st down. I mean, I think it's going to have to be on the legs of O.J. Arnold. And once you can get that going, I believe you can look downfield from Camden Brown. But if they keep getting themselves in the 3rd and long, it's going to be a long night.
So rather, it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 8. French on play action. Catch made by Marcus Sanders. Sanders, another one of those seniors. He's had a breakout year. Going to need that here again today.
Yeah, he's definitely got to step up being the Cobb is out. He has great hands and phenomenal speed. They'll be looking for him more often.
Eagles running hurry up with their tempo. Arnold on the carry, runs into a wall. He got about 4 yards.
Good job for limiting that run right there. You see Forrester right there in on the tackle, making an impact already in the game.
Jackson Forrest, a true freshman. He led the Monarchs with 10 tackles. Also had 1.5 tackles for loss and a sack. I mean, the linebacking core overall for the Monarchs has been incredible this year. Gain of 3 from Arnold. 2nd and 7. French out wide has Bradshaw. And Bradshaw able to get a first down before being taken out of bounds.
It seems like the Eagles are playing with a little bit more rhythm right now, speeding up the game, trying to keep Old Dominion in a base defense to eliminate all this pressure they're getting. And shoots it out to the wide. Bradshaw picks up. Again, let your athletes do the work for you. Throw it to them early, let them run for the first down.
Bradshaw, a gain of 10. And 38 on first down. French, plenty of time, slings it out to Arnold, and Arnold getting back to the line of scrimmage.
That play looked to be a little off right there. It looks like they were looking for a screen to one side, or maybe just developed pretty slowly. But again, they are looking to get Arnold the ball.
I mean, this is an aggressive Monarch defense, just the numerous hats of the football after the catch was made. So no gain from Arnold after the catch. Approaching 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. French near side, Bradshaw with the catch. And you're going to see a lot more of Taylor Bradshaw as French is trying to just continue to find open men. As we mentioned, Cobb still has yet to return.
Yeah, and the Old Dominion's also, they're kind of shading toward Camden Brown. If you watch, they do have a safety over the top of them. I think they're going to try to make another Eagle receiver beat them besides Camden Brown tonight.
Look at offensive coordinator Ryan Applin, who called a great game against Coastal, trying to find that same rhythm here on this drive. 3rd and 3. It is Weston Bryan, the Wildcat quarterback, and he does not get far. He will be short of a first down.
Again, Jackson Forrest shooting the gap, making a tackle, almost for no gain. But I think at this point the Eagles have to go for it because they have not slowed Old Dominion down at all.
The offense is staying out on the field. Bryan will come out. French will be back in at quarterback. Take a look here again from Bryan.
Yeah, just backside leakage in a run through. If you're Georgia Southern, you gotta block back when you're doing a sweep play.
4th and 2. The Eagles did not complete a 4th down conversion last week, and they do so here in the first. Play clock winding down, and the Eagles will call their first time out of the game.
Timeout, Georgia Southern. Third first. 30-second timeout.
Gives Clay Helton a chance to talk things over a bit. I mean, we saw the first 2 drives and how they ended. First, the interception. Then you get that penalty on 3rd down to keep the drive going, but couldn't make up for it. So you want to be able to execute here. As you see, just defensive coordinator Blake Seiler. He's also the inside linebackers coach, so he has to be proud of the way Jaleel Colbreth and Jackson Forrest has led the way defensively to start the game.
Yeah, he's definitely smiling at his linebacker play right now. Again, he's looking for to make a big play right here on the 4th down. I expect him to call some type of pressure play, again, to try to get one of those guys on a one-on-one block and get to the quarterback.
And the defense could be looking at a run here from Georgia Southern. Well, against Troy last week, the Monarchs only gave up 26 yards on the ground. So 4th and 2. The Eagles only have 2 rushing yards to start. Weston Bryan back in, the Wildcat quarterback. Bryan. He is stopped. And a big 4th down stop for the Monarchs defense.
Phenomenal stop by there. The D-line, I believe they knew this play was coming. They slanted to the run, got penetration, stood it up for no gain.
Blake Seiler is loving it. I mean, 3 straight drives, and 2 of them in turnovers.
Early on the field, the runner was short of the line to gain. It's first down, ODU.
Again, Georgia Southern let backside leakage push this play wide to where it should go. But like you said, ODU got a turnover on their side of the field, so they're already looking for another score.
Back in Eagle territory at the 46.
Georgia Southern defense has got to look to take the ball away at some point here.
Joseph will hand it off to Traquan Jones, and Jones running right into the mix on the O-line and D-line. Caleb Moore making the tackle. He's slow to get up right now.
Caleb Moore did a good job with his hands and standing up the offensive lineman. Again, basically kicking to a short game, but now that he's down, I know Georgia Southern is getting out there with all the injuries.
And you see there, the left wrist of Moore was wrapped, and that is what Moore is holding right now, the sophomore from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. I mean, that is the 3rd Eagle we've seen go down in the first quarter, the first on defense. We'll take a commercial here on ESPN+. Monarchs leading 14-0 with 3:22 to play in the first. Back to Paulson Stadium, Monarchs lead 14-0 over Georgia Southern. 3:22 to play in the first quarter. And we have seen just an Old Dominion team defensively that has made it tough for the Eagles offense, and now the offense for the Monarchs taking advantage of those plays. 44, 2nd and 8. Colton Joseph, hand off to Jones. Jones ran behind his own lineman, and that hurt as the Eagles defensive line getting there. Jacob Ferguson, one of the men there.
Yeah, Georgia Southern defense looking to stand up right here and force a punt. They definitely need it right here to try to get themselves back to this.
No gain from Jones, 3rd and 8. Joseph throws, Pass is caught. First down, Monarchs across the 30. Inside the 30 is Naheem Abdul-Rahim Gladding with the reception.
Yeah, they did max protection right here to give Coast a clean pocket, bobble to catch, but a good pickup on third down.
Gladding able to hold on to get the first down. Monarchs at the 29. Play action, Joseph goes to Gladding again, and Aiden Jackson, the first man to get there. You mentioned Jackson's one of the impact players, Jason, who would need to have himself a great game.
Yeah, Aiden Jackson, he's always around the ball, and he's also a great tackler. For the Eagles to get themselves back into the game, I look for him to get more involved on defense, possibly getting the takeaway here later on.
A gain of 3 from Gladding, 2nd and 7. Inside 2 minutes to play in the first. Joseph scrambles. Joseph gets across the inside the 20. Gonna bring up third down.
I believe they gave him
He got him first.
And that's what makes his offense so hard to guard. You cover up all the receivers, you get a little bit of pressure, and he kind of sneaks out the back door.
Yeah, that's the thing about Joseph. He is so quick and sneaky, able to fight for extra yards. He puts the Monarchs in the red zone. It'll be first down from the 18. Joseph, play action, incomplete. Pass was intended for Gladding.
That's the play we mentioned that Georgia Southern has to stop earlier on. The RPO is the big play for them. If you can keep the RPO in front of you and also in completion, I believe you got a chance to work your way back into this game.
Inside the final minute of the first, it has been all Monarchs on this 14-0 lead. Looking to add one more score before the quarter ends. Going to be a free play for Joseph. Going to the end zone. Intercepted. Justin Myers comes down with, rather Aiden Jackson comes down with it. But we'll see who the flag is on.
Offside. Defense number 99 in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
We saw the jump from the defensive lineman in Devin Lowe that gave Joseph that free play.
Yeah, they had a free play. And again, Joseph did the smart thing, throw it to the end zone, see what happens. And unfortunately for Georgia Southern, they did get the offside.
2nd and 5 from the 13 following the offsides call. Joseph going to keep. Following his block inside the 10, down at the 6. He'll get the first down for Old Dominion. It'll be first and goal.
That's just a nice, tough run right there. But for Old Dominion, they have the numbers of the box. Georgia Southern only has 3 down linemen, 2 guys in the box. I think they're going to keep running this ball until Georgia Southern switches up the front.
Ball going to be placed at the 7. Joseph looking. He throws it away. That is costly. He was able to get it out before he was sacked.
Yeah, very dangerous throw right there. Luckily that ball did hit the ground for ODU because that could have been a return for 6 points.
Yeah, the way it kind of bobbled did not have enough to get out of bounds.
Yeah. Georgia Southern was finally able to get some pressure here as well.
Now the officials gathering. I mean, there was no open receiver in sight, so you could look at intentional grounding here. That's what the officials could be talking about.
Intentional grounding. Offense. Passer was in the tackle box. The ball did not make the neutral zone, did not make the original line of scrimmage, and there was no eligible receiver in the area. It's a loss of down. It's second down.
And then, like you mentioned, no eligible receiver in the area, and he was in the tackle box.
It's third down.
This is it's a huge play for Georgia Southern, possibly holding these guys to a field goal attempt.
Make it. Ball he plays at the 15-yard line. It'll be third down. turn things around late in the quarter.
Correct down. It's second down.
Rather, the official's going to say it's second down. So second and goal from the 15.
Yeah. Big series for Georgia Southern defense right here because Old Dominion has not kicked field goals too well this year.
Joseph to the end zone. Incomplete. Ja'Cory Thomas was the intended target.
Yeah, I know offensive coordinator Kevin Decker. He wanted that one because that should have been a touchdown. He had the receiver open, just a little too much mustard on it.
Game clock, 11 seconds to go in the first. Now it'll be third and goal. Monarchs have converted twice.
This may even be quarterback draw right here to keep it safe.
Play clock at 8. Now at 3. Joseph, he will keep. And tripped up at the 10. They'll give the Monarchs time to decide if they want to keep their offense on the field or bring out the field goal unit as the first quarter comes to a close. Old Dominion starting fast, and their defense really is the biggest factor in this game, leading 14-0 over Georgia Southern. Second quarter coming up after the break on ESPN+. Back to ESPN Plus, 14-0 Monarchs over the Eagles through one quarter of play. The Monarchs have been playing great football the last couple of weeks. They've won 3 straight since their loss against James Madison, and they have their best record under head coach Ricky Ronnie. 7-3 right now, first winning season since 2016 before Ronnie took over the program.
Yeah, you know, he spoke earlier about just winning one game at a time. Again, trying to get a chance to be 8-3 and just keep building on the success they have been having lately.
Monarchs are going to kick a field goal on 4th and goal. 27-yard field goal try for Nathaniel Eichner, who puts it through, and the Monarchs increase their lead 17-0 over the Eagles. Take another commercial break here on ESPN Plus. Georgia Southern gets the ball back on offense when we return. Here from Paulson Stadium, 17-0, capping off an 11-play, 36-yard drive, and a field goal by Eichner to make it 17-0, scoring on all 3 of their drives so far today, Jason.
Yeah, they're rolling on all cylinders like you mentioned. And for Georgia Southern, this is critical right here. They got to get some kind of points on the board, keep their defense off the field with possession of the ball, and just get themselves into a rhythm to make this a game.
Yeah, 2 of those 3 drives, one of them was from an interception from J.C. French, the other a turnover on downs that put the Monarchs in good field position to go out and score. Plott returns this from the 2-yard line. Plott breaks out across the 20, down at the 21. Plott in place of Dalen Cobb, who is yet to return. Sky Taylor has an injury update on the Eagles senior receiver.
Dalen Cobb is not out here on the Georgia Southern sidelines. I was told he will not return for the rest of the game today.
Thanks, Sky. That's a tough blow for a senior like Cobb, who's been with this Eagles program all 4 years under Clay Helton. This would be his final home game in Paulson Stadium. Just a tough way to go out.
Yeah, you definitely feel for him. Like you said, been here all 4 years. And again, a great playmaker that Georgia Southern will be missing today.
Eagles start from the 21. That's Teo Todd. It's a short game. The Eagles also have been depleted in the running back room, so the redshirt freshman Teo Todd and also the redshirt freshman Bryce Baker going to be behind the senior O.J. Arnold in the run game.
Yeah, again, luckily Georgia Southern has a deep running back room, but right now they're just looking for someone to find the rhythm and give them a spark on offense.
Todd only got a gain of 1. On 2nd down, French will scramble and find Todd. Todd will reach out close to the 25, going to bring up 3rd down. Now you got a player down for Old Dominion.
Officials timeout.
That appears to be Brandon Crutchfield, the sophomore corner. The he is trying to get his way up, and correction on the player down. That is Zion Frink, the redshirt sophomore, and he's trying to get up. He'll stay down. We'll take a break here on ESPN Plus. Austin, you see sophomore cornerback Zion Frink able to make his way up, being helped off the field by the trainers. You've seen quite a few injuries here to start this game overall, Jason.
Yeah, and have seen quite a few injuries. I know you always come with the next man up mentality, but Frink right there took a pretty hard shot to the chest. Hopefully he's okay going forward.
3rd and 6 from the 25-yard line for Georgia Southern. The Eagles have yet to convert on 3rd down, 0 for 2. French can't get out, and he is sacked. Fred Giles, the junior, taking down French, going to bring up 4th down. And now you had another Eagle that was slow to get up. It was Johnny Brown. We saw Brown go down back in the first quarter, and now making his way off the field.
Yeah, he definitely wants to finish the game. But Giles right here, just a great individual pass rush. A bull rush, gets him on his heels, slips inside. Again, going probably for one of the easiest sacks he'll get all year.
Big 3 and out for the Monarchs defense. And this is a Monarch defensive line that had a program record 9 sacks against Old Dominion last week, carrying it over to today. That ball takes a bounce forward to the 30, following the punt by Alex Smith.
That's a very nice punt right there, but if you're ODs, you got to feel that punt. You got to feel that punt and make sure you're not giving away free yardage.
We haven't seen it much in this game, but the Monarchs, offensively, they can be dangerous. I mean, you look at the number of big plays they have had. I mean, tied for first in all of college football with 7 plays of 70-plus yards, and they already had 2 plays of 90-plus on the year.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal stat. You got to have a lot of fast guys to make that possible, and also you got to have a playmaker quarterback to kind of lead them to do this.
Yeah, Colton Joseph, he's also rushed for some big plays throughout the year. As he's back on offense, Monarchs will start from the 30. Joseph going to hand it off up the middle. Here's Jones, and there's that big plays that we talked about for Old Dominion down at the 45.
Yeah, they're running the ball so effectively right now. These big plays are going to happen because Georgia Southern defense will tire out. Right here, this is just a simple zone. They don't one-on-one blocking. He kind of squeezes through the hole for another big run.
That one going for 24. And Monarchs in Eagles territory from the 46. Joseph will keep, but he will not get far. Jacob Ferguson, he stepped up last week against Coastal, and he's also playing in his last game at Paulson Stadium on Senior Day.
Yeah, Ferguson, a very good play right there because he was patient enough to wait for this quarterback counter to come to him. He didn't run out the back door. Good play by him.
No gain for Joseph.
I think if you're Georgia Southern, I think your safeties have to start getting involved. They're sitting so deep right now. I believe ODU's content with just running the football and letting this clock melt away.
Three-man rush on second down. Joseph, incomplete. Brown tried to keep it out in front with one hand, but it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Trey Brown ran a great route. That's just a miss right there by Joseph. I believe he can have that back. They may have them 6 points right there because that was another RPO. Guys running wide open, running free.
Well, the Eagles have yet to convert on 3rd down. Old Dominion 2 for 3. Shea in a running back, play clock winding down. Joseph, the screen to Gladding. Gladding will be short of the first.
Yeah, I think if you're Old Dominion, I think you go for it right now. For the knockout shot, you hit 4th and 1, 4th and 2. The way they've been running the football is a perfect situation to go for it.
That's what we were talking about at the end of the first quarter because Coach Ronnie will go for it on 4th down. He went for it 4 times, only 1 of 4. But the way his defense has been able to create pressure and force turnovers, he's not afraid to do so.
Correct. His defense has been playing lights out the last couple weeks, so this is just a feeling he has for it. I think he's calling it from his gut.
4th and 3. Joseph taking a shot. Overthrew Gladding, and there's a flag on the play. You saw Gladding get hit, and he was motioning for the flag to be thrown.
Yeah, I believe the Eagles there a little bit early, but they did not need the penalty.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
Yeah, they didn't need the flag. They had it covered up, actually. Joseph was lucky it wasn't picked off, but the Eagles just got there a little bit early. This is the first time they played. It looked like they showed man and played tough man-to-man across the board, something they may have to do going forward. Yeah, as you look through it, that ball was covered. He was covered up pretty good, just unfortunately got there early.
It was Dorian Smith called for the pass interference. That'll move the Monarchs to the 30-yard line. Correction to 31. And a fresh set of downs. Seen a handful of penalties from Georgia Southern that it ended up working out successfully for the Monarchs today. Pressure. Joseph throws. Oh, what a catch from Brown. Got his foot down. And he'll bring up 2nd. Just how about the catch there from Brown?
Yeah, very nice catch. Coming back downhill, getting quarterback friendly. And this is a high ball, able to get your feet down. Awesome play by him. But for the Eagles, I believe they're finally starting to pick up the pressure, bring the safeties a little bit closer to try to get Old Dominion off rhythm.
Brown's catch, a gain of 3. Joseph going to keep. Joseph has a hole, gets the first down, and puts the Monarchs in the red zone.
Yeah, this is an easy run for Joseph right here.
You got another player down for Georgia Southern, Tracy Hill.
Officials timeout.
Well, you saw just Hill kind of took a shot trying to get Joseph down that play.
Yeah, again, hopefully it's just a stinger or get the air knocked out of him. But Joseph's running the ball hard, so when you come in there, he's definitely trying to deliver a blow as he's running his football.
And this is game 11 for both teams. And at this time of the year, everyone's banged up. Usually it's a next man up mentality. We've seen that a lot from Georgia Southern with the injuries that they've had throughout the year. But it's just a game like this late in the season, things like that are going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. And then that's why the deeper teams usually win the football games. You never want to see anyone get hurt, but you definitely have to recruit for depth going forward as a college football team.
Yeah, and the defense taking a lot of injuries. We spoke with, we'll take a look here again, the play from Joseph.
Yeah, that box is just too light. I believe you only saw 4 people in the picture, giving them a free running lane. As you see Hill step in there, kind of looks like he caught a knee to the chest or the neck area.
You understand, we spoke with defensive coordinator Brandon Bailey for Georgia Southern. He talked about how the defensive line has taken a lot of injuries too. They have yet to have a game where they've had the whole line healthy. Joseph got the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 16. Play action. Joseph flows to the end zone. Touchdown, Old Dominion. The tight end, Jalen Butler, gets his first touchdown on the year, and the Monarchs extend this lead.
That's an absolute great play design right there, kind of sneaking him out late. But you also got to give credit to the offensive line. That play took a long time to develop. They had max protection as he slipped out. Perfect throw by Joseph for the touchdown. This shows you why they're such a high-powered offense.
The Monarchs scored their first 2 touchdowns on the ground. Joseph gets this one done in the air. 7 plays, 70 yards. PAT is good by Eichner. 24-0. Monarchs over the Eagles. 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. I mean, it has been all Monarchs throughout this half.
Yeah, look at this pocket right here. He just kind of throws this like you're throwing for practice. Nice arc on the ball. Max protection as he slips out. Again, I think Old Dominion's rolling on all cylinders, and they came down here to prove a point.
What a game, what a half it has
Number
been
84.
for the Monarchs.
84,
Sky
now
Taylor
18
has
Old
more on Old Dominion.
Old Dominion's mantra all season long has been 1-0. Coach Ronnie said that his team isn't thinking about the standings or the stakes. They're locked in on this game and this game only. He said he has a tremendous amount of respect for Coach Helton, but beating a coach of his caliber is exactly what drives him and his players. Ronnie told his team to value every single opportunity because you only get so many games in college football, and he wants his guys to treat today like one that they're never going to get back.
Thanks, Sky. And you see the Monarchs 3 of 3 in the red zone. It's Plott. It's across the 15. Will be short of the 20-yard line. What needs to change for Georgia Southern getting back on offense, Jason?
Yeah, offensive, they got to figure out a way to get Camden Brown the ball. I don't think they've even thrown to him at this point in the game. And then you really can't waste plays on first down. Right now they're trying to slip a run in that has not been successful. So I believe they need to open it up, throw the ball deep.
And you see in the negatives in the run game today, you're right. The Eagles have yet to target their senior receiver, Camden Brown. He had a program record, tied a program record with 3 receiving touchdowns, but is yet to be targeted, yet to make a catch this afternoon. Eagles starting from the 19. French throws this one away, incomplete.
It looked like a little miscommunication right there. The receivers were out there blocking as French was trying to throw them a pass. That kind of goes back to where the first play was essentially wasted right here. Now you're at second down. Really only got 2 downs to pick up 10 yards. And again, edge pressure from ODU. They're doing a great job of creating pressure from just a standard 4-man rush.
French going to pass on second down. It's batted away. A flag is out. But just the defensive line has really been the group to start this Monarchs defense to get going.
Yeah, they're currently having their way right now. The pressure's all in J.C. French's face. I believe they got to go to the screen game to slow this down.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's the only way the Eagles can get some yards, a hands to the face penalty from Old Dominion.
Number 66 may stay in the game as a result of the foul.
Yeah, believe that's their second hands to the face right there. But as you see coming in, that's basically a free rusher coming in to knock this ball down. Georgia Southern has to get their eyes up and figure out who's coming. This got to be picked up.
That penalty will move the Eagles to the 34. French will hand it off to Teo Todd. He spins out of a couple of tackles, but it's every time he spins out of one, there is another Old Dominion player right there to meet Todd.
Yeah, Old Dominion's playing at a different speed than Georgia Southern right now, and they have a bead on the run game that Georgia Southern's trying to do. Looks like these guys pretty much studied their playbook, and they do know when this run is coming.
Not just the defensive line, the linebackers as well. We talked about Jalil Colbert. If he blocked that initial pass from French on the hands of the face penalty too. And look at that. He's barely averaging 3 yards of play right now. On second down, French hesitates, and he's sacked. Ricardo Williams Jr. takes French down.
Again, another great individual pass rush. They're just getting around the edges so fast on Georgia Southern, making French step up in the pocket and just eliminating the big throws. They open the gate right here, keeps coming around, gets him by the ankles. A great pass rush. Nice use of his hands.
Second sack for Old Dominion. Defensive line leading the way. 3rd and 14. French get to the Todd. Todd in space. Get to the 40, but short of a first down. And the Eagle is going to punt this one away. Alex Smith making his way back out. I mean, it is just, you can almost hear a pin drop in Paulson Stadium with the way that Old Dominion has dominated this first half.
It's definitely not something you expected after the performance Georgia Southern put on last week offensively. We know Old Dominion had a great game defense, but to come in and shut out the Eagles so far through the first half, something no one expected.
Oh, that punt almost blocked. And received at the 15. Roche. More flags are out.
I believe that punt should have been blocked. I guess the defender just didn't know he was going to get that close, but that should have been a blocked punt as well.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 19. 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
Fabo Chaney called for holding. That'll take us to a immediate timeout. 24-0. Correction, that penalty was on the Monarchs. Dawson Johnson as we come back after the break on ESPN+. Monarchs leading 24-0 over Georgia Southern. Head coach Clay Helton compared Joseph to currently a pro quarterback in Jackson Dart, who Helton faced both of these quarterbacks last season.
Yeah, and as you look at the comparison, they pretty much did the same thing to the Eagles in both of their starts. Again, Colton Joseph also another great start tonight, looking to replicate what he did last year.
Yeah, and remember, Clay Helton recruited Jackson Dart to USC when Helton was the head coach of the Trojans, and compared them just as a runner and also with his competitiveness, as Joseph on first down has a man in stride in Ja'Cory Thomas, and the Monarchs offense, just a smooth running engine throughout this first half.
Yeah, again, Ja'Cory Thomas is running a great route. They got him flexed out super wide, and they have really good protection to be able to throw these RPO routes.
Hurry up from the Monarchs. Joseph scrambles and fires. Pass caught across the middle. Another first down. This time it's the tight end, Dalton Johnson.
Yeah, ODU is pretty much doing what they want right now. If you're Georgia Southern, you got to figure out a way to create pressure. What you're doing right now is just not cutting it. At this pace, ODU is going to score 50 points.
In 2 plays and 2 chunk plays. First, finding Thomas, and now Johnson. With 41, Joseph now going to run it. Only get a couple of yards, but you're just seeing just the duality of Joseph with his throwing game and running game.
Yeah, he's in complete control of the offense right now. When they want to throw, he's sitting back comfortable, his feet are there. He's making accurate throws, and then in the run game, he's doing what he always does, making big plays.
Second and 8. Roche bouncing out. Roche breaking a tackle. And he gets wrapped up and taken down by Aiden Jackson, short of the first.
Yeah, Roche's just slippery. That play like it should have been for 1 or 2 yards. He just kept breaking tackles, kept bouncing outside, continue to run his feet to get them to a 3rd and short situations where they want to be, typically where they can take a deep shot as well.
Yeah, Roche turned that play that should have been for 2 or 3 yards and willed his way for 7.
This is the play they scored the touchdown on the goal line.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. Hargrove up the middle. Hargrove just leaning his shoulder down to get the first.
Eagles played it a little bit better that time, but I think that shows you the confidence they have in their running game. They're calling this play midfield to get the first down.
238 yards of offense, both between the running game and the passing game. Monarchs now to 28, under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Hargrove still in a running back. He'll get the handoff and gets inside the 25.
This is nice patience by Old Dominion's offense as well. You see a 5-man box, you know you want to take a shot and try to end this game quickly, but they're continuing to run the ball in between the tackles whenever Georgia Southern gives them the look.
Joseph on the run. Joseph inside the 5. I mean, everyone getting a touch in the run game. Joseph, another big play.
Again, that's the same look that they were getting earlier. So being patient, they let Joseph use his feet to make this happen. Kind of sets for a small count, and he's up the field looking for the end zone.
Gain of 21. The 1st and goal from the 2. Direct snap. Hargrove will score. It was the same play to put the Monarchs on the board to start this game, and Hargrove does it again for his 2nd touchdown.
Very nice blocking by the offensive line. I know Hargrove essentially got the touchdown, but you want to give the offensive line credit for right here. They're moving bodies, kicking him out the club as he just kind of strolls into the end zone.
8 plays, 80 yards. And you talk about that O-line, Jason. It's been one of the most consistent O-lines this season in the country. As Eichner on the PAT makes it 31-0 over the Eagles with under 4 to play in the half.
Yeah, this is just power and wrap, and you just kind of stick it in between there. I believe they have a good feeling about this play, the way Georgia Southern lines up to them, and it just sticks in the hard row. Nice touchdown for Old Dominion. They're rolling on all cylinders.
Yeah, and going back to the O-line, because Coach Ricky Ronnie talked about how it starts with the center, Ryan Joyce, and the left tackle, Zach Barlev. And just the consistency this O-line has had. They're one of few teams to have the same starting O-line every game this season.
Yeah, that's impressive to start every game with one offensive line, one due to injuries and also the way of play. But to start every game with the same offensive line, it shows how consistent, like you said, how consistent they are. And this shows why they're scoring a lot of points when your offensive line is doing what it does.
Yeah, one of 9 teams in the country. And Coach Ronnie also giving credit to his offensive line coach, Alex Huddle, for leading that group as well. It continues to be all Old Dominion in the half. Plott receives from the 6. Dripped up across the 20. And Jason, I know I asked you what the Eagles need to do here, getting back on offense, but at this point, what do you need to try to get here in these final minutes?
Yeah, right now you got to be able to establish some kind of way to throw the offense, to throw the ball. So I believe you got to go to the quick pass screen game just to get some completion, to see the ball move a little bit. They've been struggling to get first downs. Old Dominion's so deep right now, basically inviting them for the short throw. I think you got to take it and let your guys do the running to get the yardage.
Eagles start at the 22. French on play action. Near side is J.P. McKeel, who makes the catch. Another Monarch down. That is McKendray Steiger, that is slow to get up. I mean, you saw once when Steiger took that hit on McKeel, you could tell he was in pain.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, another guy's down. Old Dominion's delivering blows on the defensive side, but they're hurting themselves right now with the injuries. Hopefully he's able to get up. It's just a shoulder injury.
And you see Steiger, he was quick to get up, but he is in pain. You see his right arm dripping a bit. And we talked about just the injuries that everyone's banged up at this point of the year, but you don't want to see guys go down in numbers like we've seen throughout this half.
Right, because you see how hard these guys work to get on the field. To play college football is hard in general. To get knocked out of a game, not to be able to return, it's just devastating for you.
McKeel, a gain of 3 on the catch. In motion on second down. Bradshaw couldn't hang on. Bring up 3rd and 7.
That right there kind of shows you the day that Georgia Southern's having so far. The ball's placed out front just a drop. I believe that could have got them the first down. Maybe got them rolling to get some points before the half right here.
And the Eagles offense has still yet to convert on 3rd down. 0 of 4. Bryce Baker now in at running back.
This is the pressure look what Georgia Southern has to be able to pick up, and the running back has to be aware of where the pressure's coming from.
From the 25, French scrambles, throws, incomplete. And that's the first time we've seen Camden Brown as the intended receiver. But the Monarchs defense, another 3 and out. I mean, how about Old Dominion defensively in this half, Jason?
Yeah, you got to give them credit. They've done a tremendous job of stopping this Georgia Southern offense, mainly due to the pressure of the one-on-one pass rush, getting them into second, third, and long situations and pinning their ears back. I think phenomenal job. They're still pitching a shutout. I think this is going to be 6 quarters straight now.
Yeah, going back to the 33-0 shutout the Monarchs had against Troy last Thursday on prime time on ESPN. Alex Smith gets that one away in time. And Smith this time gets a bounce. Roche going to return it, but won't get far. Maybe got across the 25 to the 26. 3:04 to play in the first half. The Monarchs 31-0 as they make their way back on offense. It has just been all Old Dominion frustrations for the Eagles, and even the fans feeling that frustration here in Paulson.
Yeah, from the football team, you definitely want to come out on your senior night, last game of the season, have a good showing. And so far, it's just not happening for the Eagles.
Monarchs at the 27. On the run, Hargrove will be short of the 30-yard line.
If you look at
So here's our trivia question of the day. Georgia Southern's one of 4 FBS schools to find a 1,000-yard receiver. Who are the other 3? It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Monarchs in the 29. Jason, any guesses?
I'm going to Air Force and Navy is 2. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on that list.
Joseph, play action across the middle, has Thomas. Thomas still going, and the ball is loose. The Monarchs recover right behind with Butler. The big play for Old Dominion, almost broken up, but we got another Eagle down on the field.
Officials timeout.
That is Fabo Cheney.
Ruling on the field is a completed pass.
Cheney was just cleared
It's first
to
down.
come back and play yesterday, was dealing with a shoulder injury. And you could just tell as soon as Cheney went down, something was off. Look here again. See, Cheney went down, was trying to take down Thomas. And Dorian Smith was able to poke that ball loose. And a positive sign as Cheney will make his way off the field on his own power.
Yeah, definitely positive sign when he's coming off by himself as opposed to what we've been seeing earlier today. Hopefully he's able to get himself back into the game and return.
And going back to that trivia question, you said Navy. I think Navy's in there. I'll have to put Army in there. Air Force is a possibility. We'll have the answer later on. After another big play, the first down from the 43 for the Monarchs.
2-minute timeout.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. We'll have our answer when we come back after the break. Old Dominion 31-0 over Georgia Southern on ESPN Plus. Welcome back to Paulson. 31-0 Monarchs. The other three teams in the FBS without a 1,000-yard receiver: Army, Navy, and Kennesaw State. Not expecting the Owls to be on that list, Jason.
Yeah, Kennesaw State's definitely the surprising one. Army and Navy, we can definitely see that. Kennesaw State, interesting.
Interesting indeed. We know a couple former Eagle coaches, Jeff Munkin, coached at Army, currently coaching at Army, and Paul Johnson coached at Navy, enforcing the triple option. As the Monarchs using their running game, Joseph will get inside the 25. At the 24, he'll get taken out. But the running game is also just the dual threat we've seen from Joseph, one of the contributing factors in this shutout that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, again, he's in complete control, and the way these guys operate their offense gives him a lot of space to make plays with his feet.
See, Joseph 128 yards in the air, 97 yards on the ground. From the 24, it's Jones who will put the Monarchs officially in the red zone. The fourth carry for Traquan Jones in the half.
I believe offensive coordinator Kevin Decker is just playing a numbers game. Georgia Southern gives them a light box. They keep the ball inside, obviously adding one to the run game. The way the quarterback runs the ball makes it very difficult for defense to scheme against them.
Second and 2. Jones will spin in for the first down. As the clock continues to tick, the Monarchs have yet to call a timeout in this half.
Yeah, I believe calling a timeout may ruin their rhythm right here.
Yeah, that's been the thing. They've been able to start fast and play consistent on their drives. Fresh set of downs from the 13. Jones again. This time we'll get inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's a nice pressure package from the Eagles right there. I believe they're going to have to start lining up that way in open field as opposed to just a red zone to try to push
Georgia
pressure on Old Dominion offense.
Seconds. Please reset the game
Eagles
clock
will
to 49
call
seconds.
their second timeout of the
49
half.
seconds on the
Coming
game
up
clock, please.
at halftime, we'll look at scores around the Sun Belt Conference.
Thank you.
We'll highlight our Gata Productions crew. We'll also talk first half stats, which really has been just all Monarchs from the opening Eagles drive when they got the interception.
Yeah, the Monarchs started off great on defense with the interception, continue to roll on offense, and have not looked back so far this game.
One of the big things also been stopping Georgia Southern's run. The Eagles -5 yards on the ground in the first half.
That's impressive by Old Dominion's defense. So we have not seen much of O.J. Arnold in the second quarter, which is interesting for Georgia Southern. You would think they would try to be getting him going to kind of get themselves back into this game.
49 seconds to play in the half out of the Eagles' timeout. 2nd and 6 from the 9. Joseph, one-on-one, incomplete. Intended for Trey Brown.
And that's very, very nice defense right there by Tracy Hill. Basically walled the receiver to the sideline, got his head around, and just forced to throw out of bounds. It's a big third down for the Eagles right here, trying to hold them to a field goal. I know the score is kind of out of reach at the moment, but you do want to take some kind of momentum going into the halftime.
Third and 6. Joseph floats one to Roche and will be short of the first down. Justin Myers that made the play.
Timeout. Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern
Their third and final
will
timeout
use their final
of the
timeout
half.
here in the half.
30-second timeout.
Yeah, well, by Georgia Southern calling that timeout, I believe if they can get on offense, they're going to try to go get some points some kind of way, or else there'll really be no reason to call a timeout in this situation.
Well, here's the thing. The Monarchs won the toss. They chose to defer to the second half. I mean, The Eagles started with the ball on offense with J.C. French throwing the interception. Jerome Carter, his 4th pick of the year. And really, if you're the Monarchs, you're playing with house money right now. You could go for it on 4th down, but they're going to bring the field goal unit out. Now you see Justin Myers a bit shaken up after making the play. So Roche got a yard. This will be a 25-yard attempt for Nathaniel Eichner. He's already hit 1.5 from 27. Oh, it dinked on the upright. No good.
Well, that's a good timeout by Clay Helton.
One of the positives for Georgia Southern here in the half. Eichner's 2nd miss on the season.
And the Eagles actually had great pressure on that. I'm sure that got in Eichner's face right there as he saw the guy floating across. Again, you take it any win you can get for the Eagles right now, and that's one of them.
So the Eagles will have 36 seconds here to try and put some points on the board before the first half comes to a close. From the 20, French finding Teo Todd. And the Eagles got to go hurry up. They used all their timeouts.
Yeah, I think at this point you drop back and see if Camden Brown can make a play.
Brown, near side of your screen, number 4. French will go to Brown. That's his first catch. He tried to get out of bounds. He will be short of the first down. And it appears that Brown was successful in being able to get that ball out.
I wonder if the Eagles can drop a ball here deep on the end route and clock it and maybe get a field goal out of this.
They have 11 seconds. 3rd and 1. French, pass caught. Sanders, ball is out. And Sanders able to hang on and get it right back. But just the pressure that we've seen from Old Dominion.
The ruling on the field is a catch, a fumble recovered by the offense, 1st down.
The Eagles have 3 seconds. They get it off in time. French to Brown. 3 Monarchs surrounding Brown, and that will end the first half. Old Dominion dominant from the jump. And just see how physical this game has been with the blood on the knee of J.C. French. The Monarchs would go to the locker room up 31-0 on the Eagles senior day.
Yeah, Old Dominion basically had a dominating first half. They come back out in the second half, get the ball back, and look to add to their lead. So the Eagles got to figure out a way to get themselves back into this game.
And get this, Old Dominion, 331 yards of offense. Georgia Southern, just 39. Sky Taylor is standing by with Eagles head coach Clay Helton.
Coach, there's been a few missed opportunities in the first. What do you need to clean up offensively?
Yeah, definitely. We talked about coming into this game that whoever wins the turnover battle and wins the 3rd downs is going to win the game. Turned it over once, and we're out on down once, gave them great field position. They've done an excellent job of making their 3rd downs. We have not, which has given them more opportunities. So we've got to collect ourselves in here, come back out and play a better second half.
Old Dominion's quarterback Colton Joseph is starting to find a rhythm. What does your defense need to do to get him out of rhythm in the second half?
Yeah, hopefully we can have some better 1st and 2nd down efficiency right now. We're leaving them in the 3rd and 1 to 5 category, which they continue to run their RPO game, which is really effective. So hopefully we can do better on 1st and 2nd.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Georgia Southern, a turnover in the first half, also 1 of 6 on 3rd down. Clay Helton said that would be the key. Old Dominion has won those battles. 31-0 Monarchs over the Eagles at halftime. We'll look at scores around the Sun Belt when we come back after the break on ESPN+. Old Dominion, 31-0 lead over Georgia Southern. One of a few games that have gotten started in a full day of Sun Belt Conference action. Look at some of the scores around the league. Washington State leading 17-0 over James Madison at the half. We know the Dukes are going to the Sun Belt Conference Championship representing the East. It's a non-conference match late in the year. Marshall and App State just getting started. The Thundering Herd fighting for bowl eligibility. App State trying to stay alive. Then you got some other matches later on. Keep an eye out in the West Division. Southern Miss at South Alabama. Troy against Georgia State. Right now, the Golden Eagles lead the West as they're trying to punch their ticket to the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. Troy got shut out by Old Dominion last week. Want to bounce back against Georgia State. The other non-conference matchup, Coastal Carolina at South Carolina later on this afternoon on SEC Network. And we cap the day off with Louisiana Monroe at Texas State. Take another commercial break here on ESPN Plus. When we come back, we will highlight our incredible Gator Productions crew that has been a part of the game, part of the season all year long.
Paul Newman, owner and broker of Statesboro Real Estate. I have been in the business over 20 years and completed well over 1,000 transactions, helping buyers, sellers, and investors navigate the home buying process. One of the things that sets us apart is our tie to the university. I'm the official real estate agent of Georgia Southern Athletics. With our team of experienced brokers and agents and our online presence, we can help you navigate any deal. Along with Statesboro Real Estate, I'm the co-owner of PMG Rentals, where we manage over 1,300 properties, improving the lives of investors and tenants since 2009. Whether you're looking to rent, buy, or sell, make sure you call Paul.
As a wide receiver, it's my job to make all kinds of catches. Catch touchdowns. Catch a break. Catch a ride. Play. But the best catch? Schumann Farms Sweet Onions. One big catch changes the game. One ingredient changes the dish.
At Domino's, we don't think paying around $6.99 for a burger adds up. Because you can pick 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for only $6.99 each. And that adds up to a whole lot more. Pick 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for just $6.99 each, only at Domino's.
Monarchs up 31-0 over Georgia Southern at the half. As we welcome you back on ESPN Plus. Normally we would honor our Gator Productions crew, but we want to take the time out to honor our incredible senior class who are currently on the job for their last football game in their college careers. I want to shout out our first man, Brian Martin. He's done a great job working on graphics, working on the bug, graduates in the spring. I mean, he is just one of the hardest working people I've worked with in the control room, doing an incredible job here today. The next student that we want to feature, we continue to work our way through, Noah Harper. He graduates in the spring. He's our technical director, the dream job of his, another film production major, another senior student leader that has been an incredible part of our team. And this next one, near and dear to my heart, Hunter Mosley. I've known Hunter since he was a freshman, that he took over as a young broadcast student. He is the producer. He's been our producer for every home game on ESPN Plus. He's been an incredible play-by-play broadcaster, one of the analysts of mine that I've gotten to work with, and going to miss him. He graduates here in a couple of weeks in December. So we move forward. Javon Adams. He's only been with Gator Productions for about a year and a half, but he has grown and learned so much in his time. An MMJ major. Dream job is a camera op. He's doing it right now for our final senior that we are highlighting in our own Sky Taylor. Sky has been our main sideline reporter throughout the football season. Dream job to be the next Erin Andrews, and she has done an amazing job as our sideline reporter throughout this season. So a special thank you to our seniors who will be graduating, some in a couple of weeks, the others in the spring. An incredible job that y'all have done and have grown so much here in Gator Productions. Now, Sky, it says here you can jump rope while on a pogo stick. How true is that?
It is very true, Danny. It's actually a funny story. So I grew up in my life and I did pageants, okay? And I think I was around 6 or 7, and for one Easter, my parents bought me a pogo stick for Easter. I don't know why, random, but they did. And so I'm just out in the driveway, I'm hopping around, and eventually, I started to get really good at it. And so I'm trying to do tricks, I got one foot hanging off, ooh, one hand, no hands, so I'm doing that. And then I think it was my dad, he had the thought, maybe you should try to jump rope on it. So I did it, and we were all kind of sitting around the dinner table one night, and we're looking at each other this should be my talent for pageants, because everyone else just sings and dances and I can't do either. So I was like, this should be my talent. So it was awesome. I actually had this whole little 80s style outfit, and I did my routine to Jump by Van Halen. And so I would come out on stage and I had this whole routine, and then the jump rope would be in my pants right here. And so I'd start out and then I would pull out the jump rope, and the crowd and judges would just go wild. It was amazing.
Well, we're seeing some of the photos here, and that is a unique talent, a unique get-up as well, going with the 80s theme. And Scott, I want to ask you before we go to break here, what has Gator Productions meant to you throughout your college career?
Yeah, Danny, I'm going to try to not get emotional about this one, but this opportunity, I can't say more good things about it. I got this opportunity in April of last year, and, I first started out, I shadowed the control room, running cameras and things like that, and I know our producer right now, Hunter Mosley, will remember this story. It was the first time I ever ran camera, and it was for a soccer broadcast, and there was four people broadcast, and Hunter's in my ear, Sky, find the ball, find the ball. I had no idea what I was doing, but so to say how much I have learned over the year, I owe everything to Gator Productions. It's really special, this opportunity that they give to students.
Well, Sky, for you, Hunter, Noah, Brian, and Javon, you guys have been an incredible part of our crew. We're going to miss you as you make your way out to the real world and graduate, some here in a couple of weeks, the others in May in the spring. We'll take another commercial break on ESPN Plus. When we come back, we'll talk first half stats. Old Dominion leading 31-0 over Georgia Southern. Welcome back to Paulson Stadium. The sun has made its way out. Halftime as Old Dominion leads 31-0 over Georgia Southern. Danny Wall, Jason Foster, Scott Taylor on sideline. I mean, Jason, really, it's been all Old Dominion now. 6 straight quarters of shutout football, and it's been their defense turning into offense to start tonight.
Yeah, you definitely got to give Old Dominion credit. They started the game with an interception, went right down the field and scored. So they're just playing, like you said, complimentary football, and they look to continue success in the second half.
Yeah, and the defense for Old Dominion putting Georgia Southern in the negative in terms of rushing yards. And you go from that interception to start the game to the Monarchs turning that in the offense. I mean, you see the running back in Catravion Hargrove. He has 2 touchdowns on the game so far. I mean, really, everyone's been getting involved for Old Dominion here today, Jason.
Yeah, they're definitely spreading the wealth on offense, and it's coming off the play of their defense. They're just using the momentum. When they change sides of the ball, the defense is playing just as hard as the offense. And again, they're putting on the show out here. They came ready to play.
Yeah, and the Monarchs will get the football to start the second half. They won the toss, chose to defer to the second half, but you saw the interception from Jerome Carter to start the game. It's really been all Old Dominion. Now 6 quarters of shutout football going back to their shutout victory over Troy. Second half coming up after the break. Officially underway in Paulson Stadium as Evan Scruggs sends this to the back of the end zone for a touchback. And we've talked about how it has been all Old Dominion in the first half, Jason. And when you look at the numbers, really the biggest thing that stands out is the way that the Monarchs have been able to limit Georgia Southern on the run game. Yeah, they've done a great job up front getting them off schedule with the early pressures, knocking the run back. Again, they're just playing relentless to the football, and now that they have the lead, kind of forcing Georgia Southern to pass the football. Yeah, the defense for the Monarchs, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, an interception. Georgia Southern -5 rushing yards. And you look at Colton Joseph, who's led the way in the air and on the ground, and a number of big plays the Monarchs have had. 12-1 here in the night over the Eagles. Old Dominion will start from the 25-yard line. Johnson in motion. Joseph On play action, incomplete. Overshot his target. I mean, if you're Georgia Southern, if you want to work your way back in, Jason, where does it start?
Well, I think you got to get a stop. You got to create a couple 3-and-outs. I'm not even sure if they had a 3-and-out in the first half, but lock in on defense, get a couple punts, and then see if your offense can get rolling.
Second down, and for the Eagles offense, really the big factor has just been J.C. French. He has 87 yards. Joseph on the quarterback keep. He'll get 2 as he is pushed out of bounds. Sky Taylor was able to catch up with Monarchs head coach Ricky Ronnie during the break.
Coach Ronnie told me that he thinks his team played very violent in this first half, and he said that's our identity, you know, so he was glad to see that. But to finish this one out, what they need to do is simply keep doing what they're doing, and he put a big emphasis on staying aggressive to close this one out.
Thanks, Scott. I think the word violent is the perfect way to explain the way the Monarchs have played in the first half. It'll be 3rd and 8. Monarchs are 50% on third downs in the first half. Play clock at 1. Joseph gets it off in time. Joseph going to keep and forcing his way for a first down and absorbing the contact from the Eagles defense.
And that's something we mentioned earlier about open field tackling for the Eagles. Joseph's going to run the football. You're going to have to try to bring him down, and he's a tough guy to bring down due to his size and speed. Right here, that could have been short, 3rd and 5. He finds a way for the first down.
Joseph turned that into a run of 15 yards to get to the 42. Now has over 100 rushing yards on the day. Gonna throw near side to Gladding. Gladding takes a hit, gets in the Eagle territory. Another first down for Old Dominion. And really, if you're Old Dominion, there's no pressure here. You can take as much time as you need to run your system on offense.
Yeah, they're lined up pretty quickly, but they're kind of letting the clock run down, taking a look at what the defense gives them. Right there, just kind of threw a bubble route because the safety was so deep.
The 20th first down in this game. Georgia Southern only with 5. Gain of 11 from Gladding. Joseph will keep. Following his block, it's taken down at the 40.
Again, I think that's their go-to play right here with the quarterback counter. Joseph does a good job of covering the ball up, but when they're able to swing the ball out wide, basically stretching Georgia Southern defense, they come back inside with the inside run with the quarterback.
Got a gain of 7. Correction, make it 6. On second down, Roche. He will be short of the first down. Going to bring up 3rd and short.
Man, this is a situation that ODU wants to be in, 3rd and short, where they can run it or do the RPO and try to get the big play. Because I believe if they don't get it here, I believe they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Monarchs 228 yards rushing in this game. I think pretty safe that they run the ball. You got this running back direct snap formation that scored him 2 touchdowns. It's been Hargrove on those scores, and he gets the first.
Yeah, when they bring in their jumbo package, it's pretty much 100% for them right now. They just kind of have the running back find the open lane, wiggle through it, and get a first down.
And the story in this game for Georgia Southern has been injuries. Another Eagle down.
Officials timeout.
It was Devin Lowe, the junior defensive tackle, that was slow to get up.
And on that formation right there, I believe the quarterback has to be careful about leaving early. I think he's clapping his hands for the ball, but he is leaving a little bit early on that formation.
So far, it has not been a senior day for the Eagles to remember. 25 seniors were honored prior to the start of this game. But there have been a couple of injuries, players that have gone down. Of course, the tough one to start this game was from the Eagles receiver in Dalen Cobb. Would have been his last game in Paulson. He will not return. Fresh set of downs from the Monarchs. 1st and 10 from the 36. Joseph scrambles. Joseph will run out of bounds at the 30.
Yeah, great decision by Joseph right there. They tried to hit the big play down the field with the tight end on the corner. He wasn't open, and he's able to, again, get away from the pressure, scramble out of bounds, and pick up essentially 6 yards on first down.
At that time, a gain of 6, make it 2nd and 4.
I think Georgia Southern has to do something to speed up Old Dominion right here. They're just kind of playing slow ball, letting Old Dominion do what they want to do. If they want to get back in this game with any real chance, they got to force the issue here.
Joseph going to keep again, and he breaks outside. Joseph down the sideline, pushed out inside the 15. You talk about applying that pressure, Jason, when you only had a 3-man rush up front there by the Eagles.
Yeah, you only got 3-man rush, and then you only got 2 linebackers. Again, they do a good job with their splits for Old Dominion. But if you want to force it, you got to make Joseph be a passer, make him be a pure passer, and then just go get the football at this point.
Monarchs in the red zone from the 12, up the middle, touchdown! Give Travion Hargrove his 3rd touchdown of the day.
The Eagles have a guy down in the end zone as well, but it's Jackson, Aiden Jackson. Like he kind of banged his knee as Hargrove went into the end zone.
10 plays, 75-yard drive for Old Dominion to start this half, and there is an Eagle down in the end zone. Jason, you were mentioning that was Aiden Jackson, and it is Jackson the junior, who we saw kind of get banged up in the first half as well.
Yeah, this one I believe he was trying to avoid hitting guys. He went into the end zone, kind of clipped his knee, so hopefully it's nothing too major.
The Monarchs have scored on quick drives and remain efficient here to start the 3rd quarter. 5 minutes off the clock, 10 plays, 75 yards. Travion Hargrove, the senior from Ruston, Louisiana, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. And the PAT from Eichner makes it 38-0 Old Dominion.
Yeah, great job right here by Old Dominion. They have the numbers, and they're content with running the football. Georgia Southern sitting so deep. Again, probably with another easy touchdown for Hargrave as he gets into the end zone right here. Great job by Old Dominion's offense to keep the pressure on Georgia Southern.
Lead 38-0, all from Contravion Hargrove. He's wearing number 84 for kickoff, but number 18 for Old Dominion only had one rushing touchdown entering the day. He has 3 so far in this game today, Jason.
Yeah, he's having a career night for himself. Again, showing good vision and good power in the end zone. Now you want to see if he can get on kickoff and see if he can make himself a tackle as well.
Talk about a player that can stall. Eichner sends this one deep inside the 5, returned by Peyton Plott. Plott tackled across the 20, at the 22 to be exact. The Eagles will make their way out on offense, and Jason, we were kind of talking, defensively for Georgia Southern, but how about offensively, just to find the way to get some points?
Yeah, definitely the exact opposite of what you saw last week with the Georgia Southern offense. So they're just kind of searching a way to find some offense right now. Maybe trying to switch to formations, give them a new look, but right now they just got to get some kind of rhythm going.
Yeah, went from scoring 35 points in the first half against Coastal Carolina to none here against the Monarchs. French on first down will keep. He'll throw it out to Taylor Bradshaw. Bradshaw gets to the 30-yard line. And we were also talking, Jason, we have yet to see O.J. Arnold since the first quarter. And the Eagles are going with their backups in Teo Todd and Bryce Baker, a running back. Running back room has been depleted throughout the year. Hurry up offense. French goes to Todd. Todd down the sideline will get the first down.
Georgia Southern playing with a lot more tempo right now, trying to throw the ball short, letting the athletes run a little bit. Hopefully this can kind of give them some kind of rhythm where they can put the points on the board.
Got him to catch, a gain of 8. The Eagles from the 38. French going to take a shot downfield. Caught by Sanders inside the 20. And a big play for the Eagles offense as Marcus Sanders puts the Eagles in the red zone.
Yeah, that's a great throw by French right there. Pretty good coverage, but Sanders makes a catch looking back into the sun. This might get Georgia Southern rolling. French basically drops this ball in the bucket.
Todd inside the 5. That was a 52-yard pass from French to Sanders to put the Eagles in the red zone. Now 2nd and goal from the 5, following the 5-yard carry from Todd. French one-on-one to the end zone, incomplete. Too far for Camden Brown.
Yeah, it had a little too much on it right there, but anytime you get Camden Brown one-on-one, you definitely want to take a shot at him. For the Eagles right here, I believe try to go back to this one-on-one matchup, try to get it in the end zone.
That makes it 3rd and goal. Georgia Southern just 1 of 6 on 3rd downs in the first half. French. And he gets taken down at the 3. Ran right into DeAndre Lynch. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's a great job by Lynch right there, handling it. Looked like he had a double team, fighting off and getting French to the ground a couple yards short, because this definitely like it was going to be a walk-in touchdown.
And at this point, the Eagles offense is going to stay on the field. They're going to go for it. They need points. They need touchdowns instead of field goals.
Yeah, this is definitely the right choice. You got them backed up. If you do not get it, you got them backed up. Maybe you can get a safety out of it. But I know the Eagles are definitely looking for a touchdown right here.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 6. Half a distance to the goal, can be first down.
The Eagles will have a couple more plays, fresh set of downs following the unnecessary roughness call on the Monarchs.
Yeah, I know DC Blake Soller is not happy with that because they could possibly still be pitching the shutout. But with 4 plays from the 2, you would assume the Eagles can punch this ball in the end zone.
Bryce Baker in at running back. 1st and goal from the 1. French scrambling. Throws it away.
Old Dominion's playing pretty sound football right there. Georgia Southern wanted to sneak a guy across the formation, but they picked him up and played right around with him. Good job by French for not taking a sack in the red zone.
And with the pressure the defense, the Monarchs have put on French, I mean, they're starting to get a bit chippy as well. A lot of swagger on Old Dominion's side, especially with a 38-0 lead.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they still want this shutout. I don't know if they ever had consecutive shutouts, but they're looking to get one today.
They've only had 2 in program history, the second one being last week against Troy. French, end zone, incomplete for Brown. Coverage by Davon Isles.
Yeah, again, just a little long. That ball's got to land in bounds somewhat, but I do like them giving Camden Brown a chance. I think if you're the Eagles right here, you just give your running back a chance, see if they can find 1 or 2 yards on the inside run.
First 2 plays, French throwing incompletions. You're at the 1.
Yeah, you're bailing out the defense. Make the defense make a tackle.
French under center on 3rd down. He'll toss it, and Todd gets taken from behind. Jaleel Colbreth leading the charge.
That was a weird series for the Georgia Southern offense as far as with the play calling. You thought they were going to run it in from the 2-yard line. But again, a great job and a great awareness by the ODU defense. And Carter's been playing a great game. Colbert's been playing a great game all day. Obviously start off with the big hit. This time keeping a run on the inside shoulder, making a tackle.
With that, the Eagles are going to bring out the field goal unit. I mean, we talk about touchdowns over field goals, but after that, they just got to get some kind of points. It'll be a 25-yard attempt from Trip Bryant. Georgia Southern finally on the board with 6:53 to go in the 3rd, down 38-3. More to come after the break on ESPN+. Georgia Southern officially on the board, down 38-3, 10 plays, 70 yards. I mean, it was the big 52-yard reception from Marcus Sanders to put the Eagles in the red zone. But Jason, even after a penalty that gave the Eagles a fresh set of downs, couldn't find the end zone, ended up with just 3 points.
Yeah, that shows you how much pride that ODU's playing with. They try to keep these guys out of the end zone, and they played faster and with a better passion than Georgia Southern. Again, hold them to a field goal, 4 plays from the 1. Great job by Old Dominion.
Longest play for the Eagles today, but only 3 points to come up with as Scruggs sends that in the back of the end zone. And it is senior day for Georgia Southern, not the outcome that they wanted so far, but it is a homecoming for Old Dominion wide receiver Trey Brown. Sky Taylor has more.
You're exactly right, Danny. It is a true homecoming for Old Dominion wideout Trey Brown. The redshirt sophomore actually went to Jenkins High School in Savannah. He grew up just down the road from here, and today he has nearly 80 friends and family members in the stands. Coach Ronnie told me that kind of support can make a tough road environment feel like just a little bit more at home for the Monarchs. And I got a chance to speak with Brown's dad pregame. He was so emotional and said, man, this is just so special. He said he probably will never play this close to home again, and I'm just so unbelievably proud of him. He also mentioned just how amazing it is for him to be here with so many loved ones supporting him in today's game.
Thanks, guys. Joseph will scramble out on first down, gets close to the 30. Trey Brown today, 2 receptions, 12 yards, but just being able to play with so much family close to home is just a special feeling.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's enjoying his homecoming, especially the way the score is right now. And look, he may be looking for a bigger catch down later in the game, but right now they're just running the ball, trying to end this game and melt the clock away.
That's a 2023 from Jenkins High School. Now in his 3rd season with Old Dominion as a redshirt sophomore, Joseph. Ball went out, but it looked like a basketball the way it dribbled back to Joseph's hands.
Yeah, that play
started 3rd down.
That play started off a little bit weird. Had a quick snap. I don't think he was ready for the snap, but he was able to field it and, again, pick up another first down even on the bad play.
Yeah, correction. Got the first down there. Seems just like even the bad plays are working well for the Monarchs in this game. You see some of Brown's family here enjoying this 38-3 Monarchs lead. Up the middle, Traquan Jones runs right into Aiden Jackson. And another first down for Old Dominion.
Yeah, Old Dominion's content with what's going on right here. This was probably the lightest box you ever see. Georgia Southern has 4 people within 5 yards of the ball. Old Dominion has 7.
Officials timeout.
Got a player down for Old Dominion. It's the right tackle, Stephon Dubose-Bourne. You just see the comparison in rushing yards in this game. 289 to 4 for Georgia Southern. And we talked about the continuity and the consistency of the O-line for Old Dominion. Hopefully Dubose-Bourne makes his way back out in a couple of plays.
Yeah, as the season's going along, they've been winning more games. I think they had 3 straight wins, partly due to the O-line, but also the way they are running the football now. And it just continues success today. They're going to continue to pound away, probably have 300 yards by the end of this quarter. Going into the last game, I think they're looking to have momentum as well.
Well, head coach Ricky Ronnie said that all year, the O-line and D-line have been the focal points of the team in terms of culture and personality. So as Dubose-Bourne is out, Griffin Duggan will take over at right tackle. First down from the 48 for Old Dominion. Joseph on play action. Plenty of time. Now scrambles, floats it out of bounds.
Good coverage by Georgia Southern secondary right there. They were trying to take a shot, create one of those big plays they've been having all year. But give Joseph credit for not throwing it deep when they call it, throwing that ball away, living to play another down.
I haven't seen many incompletions from Joseph. Now 12 of 18, 140 yards. Also the touchdown he had to Jalen Butler in the first half. Joseph will keep. His production's been on the ground. Case in point, Joseph, another first down for the Monarchs. He might be racing his way towards 200 yards rushing today.
Yeah, he's definitely on pace. And again, he's just a tough runner. But what's most, he does a very good job of reading these plays out. As you see the outside linebacker close from depth, he's kind of seeing through that and pulling the ball and doing a great job running as well.
Gain of 13. He has 169 rushing yards.
And you got a 4-man box. I would expect this ball to be handed off again.
Jones at running back. He'll get the carry. Gets inside the 35. I mean, the running backs have been getting an even number of carries. That was Jones' 8th, but Devin Roche and Catravion Hargrove both with 7 carries. Really, it's been Colton Joseph with 19 runs on the day.
Yeah, everybody's doing a good job of feasting on the run, and Joseph doing a good job himself of pulling the ball out when the running backs do not have the opportunity.
Jones will get it again, and another Monarchs first down. I mean, really, you saw a fast tempo Monarchs offense in the first half. Now they're a bit more consistent, taking their time. They don't have any pressure right now.
Yeah, they're playing with no pressure, and sometimes in the season you got to be able to have what they call a 4-minute drill. It seems like something they're practicing now, where you let the play clock run down, drain the other team, and just keep the chains moving.
The 8th play of the drive from the 27. That time, Jones gets wrapped up from behind. Brandon Tyson there on the tackle for loss. What was your favorite kind of offensive tempo you wanted to run, Jason, when you were a quarterback?
Usually I was tired, so I like to go to the huddle first. I definitely like the zone read where I'm back a little bit and able to see the defense. Got the opportunity to make bigger runs that way, but I did like the huddle because I did want to try to catch my breath.
Yeah, you were all gas, no brakes in the triple option. As Jones gets inside, gets to the 20. Going to bring up 3rd and short.
Again, another situation that Old Dominion likes to be in, 3rd and short. I wouldn't be surprised if they they're bringing in the jumbo package right here. I think they're going to go back to their old goal line play. Yeah. Let's see if they can get it to the quarterback, maybe have him catch a pass on this one. 4 for 4 running it, so might as well throw it.
There's that jumbo formation, and instead of a potential direct snap to the running back in Hargrove, Joseph back. He'll keep, follows his block. Joseph! Touchdown! Colton Joseph, his 20th run on the day. He takes it 20 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, he's phenomenal right there. That was actually a dual option play. He could have thrown that football, saw that he had the running lane, just kind of squirted through there, getting the touchdown. Great play by him. This was all set up prior to all the goal line runs that we saw earlier.
Another 10-play drive for Old Dominion. Taking almost 5 minutes off the clock. Joseph, he gets his 12th rushing touchdown on the season. PAT makes it 45-3. Monarchs over the Eagles.
Yeah, this is the power formations. You see, he actually looked like he's ready to throw that ball, then just outruns the Georgia Southern defender to the sideline. Looking back, easy touchdown for him. Great job, again, from the setup for the previous plays they have been running. ODU is rolling today.
Wait on it, put in pain for it. Every day a day to train for it. We on a whole nother level.
Monarchs quarterback Colton Joseph, a 20-yard touchdown to make it 45-3, and now a new career high of 189 rushing yards here against Georgia Southern. As the Monarchs kick is a bit short, taken inside the 10 for Plott. Plott, the best return for the Eagles in this game. He gets to the 40-yard line, but just how about Colton Joseph having himself a career game on the running game overall, Jason?
Yeah, I think for Joseph, he loves to see Georgia Southern on the schedule because I think both years he's had a phenomenal game. But today, just like he's in total control of the offense. He pulls the ball when he needed. Like he mentioned earlier, he's been very accurate. By him being accurate, definitely opens up the running lanes, and he's going to continue to run the ball throughout this game. Yeah,
and you mentioned it. Last season against Georgia Southern was Joseph's breakout performance. He had 4 passing touchdowns in that game, and now a career high in rushing yards here in Statesboro. Turner Helton in at quarterback. First down, a pass to Bryce Baker. So now we're seeing a quarterback change for Georgia Southern, as we see the redshirt junior Turner Helton, son of Eagles head coach Clay Helton, taking the snaps.
ODU's not taking it easy. On the first play, they sent 2 guys after him.
Empty backfield, quick throw to Baker. Baker gets to the 45. And it'll bring up third down.
Yeah, I think the Eagles definitely got to pick up the first down right here. This is a big play for them to get their defensive rest, but also for Helton to get some reps.
I mean, really, this could be a moment just for some of the starters to kind of regroup here. I mean, it is not the game that Georgia Southern wanted, especially on senior day, playing their final game at home. 25 seniors were honored prior to the start of this game. Inside the final minute of the third quarter. Helton taking a shot. Almost intercepted. Jerome Carter. He already had an interception. He had the first interception.
Yeah, Carter's doing a good job of reading the quarterback eyes. He's broken this ball before the quarterback even threw it. He just kind of feels the route. This is why he's always around the ball. Luckily, this ball was out of bounds.
There was nobody in the vicinity, and Taylor Bradshaw was the closest man there. It's kind of overthrew, and Carter almost had his second pick. Another 3 and out for Old Dominion's defense. Alex Smith out the punt. Roche called a fair catch. That ball bounces into the end zone. And now, if you're Georgia Southern, the way things aren't going your way today, it puts even more pressure when you go to Marshall next Saturday for the season finale. Is that looking like you got to win that game to be bowl eligible, or else your season's over?
Yeah, they definitely put a lot of pressure on themselves. You wanted to get that win today at the home to get into the bowl game. But now with this added pressure, they're going to have to regroup, make a trip up, and see if they can get a win for bowl eligibility.
And the Monarchs right now fighting for bowl eligibility as well. They're currently up 14-9 over App State in the second quarter. But it's going to make some interesting things in Huntington as the Monarchs start from the 20. Traquan Jones on the carry.
Yeah, Monarchs are also switch quarterbacks and put Quinn Heinkel in there, see if he can continue the success they've been having on offense.
And they're going with Heinkel, redshirt freshman from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. He'll hand off to Jones again. Tackle for loss. Kebaseka there making the play. So Heinkel is 4 for 10 on the year, just 22 yards, has a couple of carries. We found out from the sports information director that Heinkel took some punt returns earlier in the year. The third quarter comes to a close. Monarchs in control, 45-3. Fourth quarter coming up after the break. Paulson Stadium through 3 quarters of play. Old Dominion leading 45-3 over Georgia Southern and having their 3rd best rushing performance in the history of the Monarchs. Currently 341. They could break a record by the time this game is over, Jason.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job running the football today. If they continue the way they're doing, they will break this record.
Quinn Hinneckel in at quarterback for Old Dominion. It'll be 3rd and 10 from the 20. Travion Hargrove in motion. Hinneckel across the middle, pass is caught. Sidney Mbanasor on the reception, his first on the day.
Man, they're getting everyone involved right here, kind of run a circle route, in breaking. These guys have such wide splits. Most pass routes they're going to do are going to be in breaking toward the middle of the field.
We were talking at the end of the 3rd quarter how the sports information director for Old Dominion, Eric Bohannon, was telling us how Hinneckel, he took some punt returns earlier in the season, along with being the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
He'll run it, get a short game. Jason, you know a thing or two about taking some punt returns, right?
Yeah, I did that a couple times at quarterback, but I was more likely to fair catch him if I knew I was playing quarterback. But no, that definitely kind of shows you what kind of athlete he is to be able to take punt returns, then come in and play quarterback. Just phenomenal athletes these guys recruited for the Old Dominion team.
I believe the first one he took was earlier in the season against James Madison, as Hargrove hit a couple of yards. I mean, Jason, you were a quarterback that kind of did it all. I mean, you threw the ball, you ran the ball, you made some catches as a receiver. You also were a kick returner and a punt returner.
Yeah, ultimately started, in practice with doing punt return and kick return, trying to get on the field. So that's kind of really how it started. And then lucky enough to give me the opportunity to play quarterback and receiver and move me around.
Ooh. See, Hinneckel ran right into a wall, and
then Aiden Jackson showing up to make a play right there. He's kind of glad he's back in the game for a knee injury, but he's still playing hard.
Yeah, Aiden Jackson on the finish. MJ Stroud also got there.
Yeah, that's the same quarterback draw they were running earlier. Georgia Southern just played a little bit better finally.
Monarchs are going to punt this one away. They have been fairly successful on 3rd down. This is just their first punt in the game. Ian Brandt send this one high and deep. Peyton Plott calls for a fair catch inside the 10. Eagles back on offense when we come back after the break. Monarchs up 45-3 here on ESPN+.
Earlier this fall, the university honored our Freedom's legacy with a bronze statue outside of Bishop Fieldhouse, and now the school is getting ready to honor more legends. By the 2026 football season, Monument Plaza at Paulson Stadium will add busts of 3 Eagle greats. Paul Johnson built the blueprint for Georgia Southern's option dominance and went on to coach at Navy and Georgia Tech. Tracy Ham was the first quarterback to run for 3,000 and throw for 5,000 ever in a career. He led the Eagles to 2 national championships. And Adrian Peterson, he's the all-time leading rusher in FCS history and a Walton Payton Award winner. All 3 are members of the College Football Hall of Fame, and their statues will stand alongside Irk Russell and Freedom as permanent reminders of Georgia Southern's tradition of excellence.
Thanks, guys. Georgia Southern starts from the 5-yard line. Here's a handoff to Teo Todd as Turner Helton still in a quarterback. Hey, Jason, when are we going to get a bust of you moving forward here in a couple of years?
I don't know if that's coming or not. Those guys set a high standard for everybody to live up to, so their statues are definitely well deserved for them.
We were a Walter Payton Award winner, and they also have a huge photograph in the stadium. As Helton throws across the middle, Camden Brown making the catch, and even threw you off when you saw it here when you first came back to Paulson not too long ago.
Right, that is definitely a nice honor, nice gesture to have a picture that big, and as you walk in, you're like, whoa, that's me right there. But yeah, definitely feel honored to have that. Highlighting
a lot of the greats that have played here at Georgia Southern, also honoring some of the coaches as well. Paul Johnson, who Sky mentioned, going to get a bust here at Monument Plaza. Helton scrambles on first down, throws, incomplete. Sanders was close to being able to make the play.
Yeah, if you look at the ODU defense right there, they're still playing hard, still playing fast. They're playing sound football. As you watch, they're getting depth on their drops, still keeping the ball in front of them, just creating very hard time for Georgia Southern. And Georgia Southern has to be ready for this next week, because if I'm Marshall, I'm doing the exact same game plan.
See 172 yards for Georgia Southern to over 500 for the Monarchs, and most of the yards have come in the air for the Eagles. Helton, pressure, gets it out to Bradshaw. Bradshaw, oh, nice block and a spin. And, you know, we talk about it being senior day for Georgia Southern. There's a lot of young players that are going to be next up for this Eagles program. Bradshaw, one of them, a sophomore.
Right, definitely senior day, you want to send them out on a high note. Unfortunately, that has not happened, but as the young guys come in, you're putting yourself on tape for next year to try to get yourself in the lineup.
Yeah, we were speaking with the coaching staff for Georgia Southern, most notably Ryan Applin, who, you know, a lot of senior skill players playing in their final game in Paulson, but even talked about some of the young players that have stepped up. As Sanders, he makes the catch, wraps around to get the first down, tackled across the 35. And out of the seniors, Marcus Sanders, Coach Applin said that he's grown the most throughout his 4 years at Georgia Southern.
Yeah, you see him step up year to year, and this year having a phenomenal year. I think he's kind of career high in catches, so that shows you that growth and that he's able to take coaching.
Got his 4th catch of the day, 88 yards. See here again.
Yeah, high points the ball. Guy makes a man, misses, and finishes hard on the run.
Officials timeout and a player down for Old Dominion. That appears.
Due to player injury after the ball was spotted, ODU has charged their first charged timeout.
Old Dominion charged their first timeout, but that was James Carver III. They got shaken up. But as we were talking about for Sanders, for Georgia Southern, who Coach Applin, offensive coordinator, said that Sanders has grown the most. I mean, this is his best year, having a career high in receptions and receiving yards, had a 100-yard receiving yard game against App State, a big rivalry win in Boone, 25-23.
Yeah, this shows you, like you said, able to take coaching and keep getting better and better over the years instead of just bailing out. He did take the coaching, and now it's paying off for him.
First down from the 36 for the Eagles. Empty backfield for Turner Helton. Helton with time, incomplete. intended for Sanders. And the coolest thing Coach Apple was telling us was that Sanders was initially committed to South Alabama. And Clay Helton and his initial offensive coordinator, Brian Ellis, spent time with Sanders' family to speak with his dad and, just show the community that, how much they care, and Sanders would change and decide to become an Eagle.
It shows you how far recruiting takes you and what you got to do to get these guys into your program, and that's what ultimately builds success.
Teo Todd on the carry, going to bring up 3rd down.
Old Dominion's D-line is doing a very good job of getting off blocks. You think the run's about to get past them. They have full extension with their arms, and they're falling back in on the tackle, keeping these runs to a minimum. I'm not sure Georgia Southern's longest run today, but they've done a good job of keeping the ball in front of them.
Longest run for the Eagles was an 8-yard carry from Taylor Bradshaw. Only a 1-yard carry from Todd makes it 3rd and 9. Helton. Oh, look at Helton go. Scrambling. Throws. Incomplete. Got to give Turner Helton credit to maneuver his way out of traffic, but just couldn't finish the play. Brings up 4th down.
Yeah, he has fancy footwork in the back of the pocket, getting away, shows him escapability. But again, great job by ODU of covering down during a scramble drill and knocking that pass down. Again, another great defense performance by them.
Alex Smith back out the punt again. This will be his 6th punt of the game. Old Dominion's defense, doesn't matter who's in at quarterback, they have applied pressure, especially stopping the Eagles' run game.
Delay of game, kicking team, 5-yard penalty. It's 4th down.
Delay of game will push the Eagles 5 yards back. And you want to finish this game out the best you can if you're Georgia Southern. But now it's apparent that the Marshall game next weekend, season finale, is pretty much for bowl eligibility, as Smith boots this one down. Fair catch called by Roche at the 25. Monarchs back on offense with 9:53 to play in the game. 45-3 lead over the Eagles. Back on ESPN Plus, Old Dominion a 45-3 lead over Georgia Southern. They're already having their 3rd highest rushing game in program history. Georgia Southern did a good job stopping the run in their last 2 games and wins against App State and Coastal Carolina. Just not the game that the Russian defense wanted to have today, Jason.
Yeah, the previous 2 games, he said they were doing a good job, but I think Colton Joseph is a different animal when he's running the football. And Old Dominion demeanor when they want to run the football, they're committed to it, and it showed today that Georgia Southern still has a little bit of work to do in the run game.
Yeah, Joseph going to finish this game with a career-high 189 rushing yards and a touchdown to go along with it, as Draquan Jones tackled from behind. Tackle was made by Davion Rhodes, and Joseph has not returned to this game since scoring that touchdown. It's been Quinn Hennicle in a quarterback. We've seen both backups in this game. Hennicle for Old Dominion, Turner Helton for Georgia Southern. 2nd and 10. Hennicle throws over the middle. It's Mbanasor on the catch. First down Monarchs at the 45.
Yeah, you got to give Hennicle credit right there. The patience that he had to wait for this end route to come open. And a phenomenal job on the offensive line as he sat back there, patting the ball, waiting for his receiver.
After a gain of 18, Hennicle going to run it. Hennicle still on his feet. He gets the first down. How about the backup quarterback showing some wheels?
Yeah, they're showing why they had him back there at punt return sometimes. Yeah, he scored it out of there. Georgia Southern finally got pressure, but he tucks it away. Again, a nice 10-yard run. That's something I believe all ODU quarterbacks are going to have to do because of the way they call the game.
I mean, just look at the rushing yards now at 359. Georgia Southern with just 10. High snap, play action. Hennicle going deep, overthrew his man.
And I believe the overthrow is caused because of the defensive line pressure from Georgia Southern. But that was a nice logo route right there called for the slot receiver. Just missed him.
TJ Lott. That would have been an easy touchdown. Ooh, how about Hennicle took the hit from Ferguson after.
Yeah, that hurt a little bit. Got him used to the game. I think for the most part, ODU quarterbacks have been standing up, been pretty clean in the pocket, but Georgia Southern applied a little pressure there.
Second down. Hennicle going to throw, incomplete. Jason, what was the hardest hit you ever took as a quarterback?
My last home game here, we're playing against Furman. I think we had a 4th and 6 or 4th and 5. We had to run our trick play, and no one was open, so we needed the first down. So I think I got hit in the hip by the linebacker from Furman. Andrew, I think I still got injuries from that today, but did a little helicopter after I got hit.
Oh.
It put it like this, it was so hard. I talked to him after the game. He asked me, was I okay? So,
he was checking up on you.
Yeah, when you get checked on by the defense, I still talk to him to this day sometimes, but that was definitely the hardest hit I took.
Wow. Pressure coming, and Hennicle was able to get it out to Jones. Incomplete. Going to bring up 4th and 10.
And that's Georgia Southern's fortunate right there. If he could slip out, he just kind of found where that ball was. Georgia Southern brought the all-out pressure, and the running back slipped out. There was no one left.
What kind of friendship gets developed by the person that hit you so hard he wanted to check up on you after the game?
Right. Well, we played Furman. Again, everybody stayed in college for years, so you got used to those guys. I think I met him at like a little symposium where we talked, so we definitely kept in touch with each other.
Back in the FCS days where Georgia Southern and Furman were in the SoCon together, as Plott calls a fair catch. And, it's a good segue here. We'll talk more about it after the break with Senior Day and just what it means to stay with a team for 4 years. The Eagles back out on offense when we come back. 45-3, Old Dominion over Georgia Southern. Jason, we were talking just what it means as you look at some of the notable seniors for Georgia Southern playing their final game in Paulson. What it means in this day and age of college football to stay with a team all 4 years.
Yeah, to me, it means a lot. It also shows your grit and determination because it's so easy to transfer and get out of there. But these guys put in the work and pay for themselves to be on the field. I think it speaks volumes about them and their character.
On first down, Bryce Baker running out after the pass made by Turner Helen. Pishon Wembley in that group. You talk about a team for 4 years. How about Wembley has started every game since he was a freshman? This is 50 in his college career, and rather now Weston Bryan in at quarterback for Georgia Southern. He made the pass to Baker on first down. Bryan going to keep it himself and get the first. Weston Bryan, 6'3", 250-pound true freshman, mainly the Wildcat quarterback.
Yeah, everybody's getting reps today. They're going to see if what he can do in the Wildcat is probably as well throwing the football. But going back to Wembley, 50 starts and starting every game since you're a freshman is probably one of the most impressive feats in college football. It shows that you're ready to, when you come out of high school, to play football, and that's hard to do.
Yeah, catch near side, caught by Antavius Murphy. That's Murphy's second catch of the year, redshirt freshman. I mean, just got to think for a lot of these young players that they're next man up. Bryan, quick throw to J.P. McKeel, trying to keep a high tempo for the Eagles. But, yeah, you don't see that when you really get thrown into the fire as a true freshman, especially starting as a left guard.
Right. Typically, you have time to build your red shirt and do all these things to get yourself ready, maybe play your sophomore year. But with the way the transfer portal works now, they bring you in to be able to play immediately. So you don't get the opportunity to learn as much.
Just what a career for Wembley in that left guard spot. I mean, along with every game in the regular season, also the 3 bowl games. It's Turner Helton back in. Pass will be caught. Great job there making the catch, Dylan Gary.
It also speaks volumes trying to stay healthy for that many games. A lot of times you miss games due to your health, but to play 50 games and stay healthy shows how tough you are as well.
Quick handoff to Baker on first down. And, you know, offensive coordinator Ryan Applin talked about how there's no days off for the O-line. I mean, you're in the trenches. Even if it's a light practice with shoulder pads, you're still getting banged up. And so you talk about just the health, to stay healthy for Pishon Wembley. Just speaks numbers to what he has done and what he's meant to this Eagles program. 2nd and 9, following the pass from Helton to Baker. Murphy could not hang on to the catch. Going to bring up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, that time right there, great job by Ryan Ramey, slipping a block and making it immediately hit. I think they've seen enough of these screen passes in their face that they're starting to itch up a little bit. Again, still showing pride on defense, not letting any pass go.
5:12 to play in the game. 3rd down has not been kind to the Eagles, just 3 of 11. Helton, pressure, incomplete. Intended for Gary, going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be a quick pass right there. As you saw the offensive lineman try to cut. When that initial pass is not there, you got to get rid of the ball. Helton did a good job of just getting rid of it while he took the hit.
So Alex Smith back out to send this one away. It'll be his 7th punt. And what has been a game, even with the backup quarterbacks and some younger receivers making some plays, the Monarchs defense continue just to be so dominant. And that'll get some extra yards. Get back to the 11 or 12 yard line.
Well, that will be the one negative I'll give Old Dominion for this game. They got to start fielding these punts. They have a lot of punts dropped that they should have been caught. Fortunate for them now is taking an ODU bounce, but those punts could be free yards that they need to clean up.
Monarchs head coach Ricky Ronnie said one of the keys for special teams was to play a consistent game and limit the mistakes. So not being able to field that ball could be one of the few mistakes Old Dominion has had, if any, in this game today.
Yeah, they haven't had many today. And again, they still have the ball after the play, but you definitely want to kind of take those hidden yards and make sure you field these punts a little bit early.
Monarchs at the 12 on first down. Hargrove, what a game he's had. 3 rushing touchdowns in this game. He only had 1 on the ground entering.
Yeah, again, a great job for him, and he's capitalizing on the opportunity. They gave him the carries, and he's showing what he can do, trying to earn more carries, and I expect next week for that volume to go up as well.
Yeah, really for Old Dominion, it's just a matter of just staying dominant, staying consistent, going 1-0 every week. We know that in the East Division, James Madison will go to the Sun Belt Championship representing the East. But still for the Monarchs, this is the best season they've had under head coach Ricky Ronnie, and they want to keep that going. Hinnacles will keep a big run. Hinnacles across the 40. And we're still seeing the big plays be made for the Monarchs.
Yeah, the way their quarterback's playing is not much of a drop-off as far as in the running game with either quarterback. Going forward, even for the future years, I think Old Dominion set themselves up nicely with the way they've recruited these quarterbacks.
See Eagles mascot Gus making his way around. 390 rushing yards for Old Dominion. So that is now the second highest rushing game. The program record, 406 yards. They need 17 to break it. Hargrove will get about 3.
Yeah, well, Georgia Southern, they got their work cut out to stop them from breaking that record, and I believe they're about to run this ball 3 straight times.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, 3 minutes to play in the game, just run it out. And they're only going to give Hargrove a yard there. For Hargrove, 10 carries, 40 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game. Traquan Jones back in at running back. Oh, the ball popped out. Still bouncing around. The Eagles have it. Scooping it up for Georgia Southern, Chris Crouch, one of the 25 seniors.
Ruling on the field is a fumble, recovered by the defense. First down, Georgia Southern.
He gets a big fumble recovery, playing in his final game at Paulson.
Yeah, that was just a good old mesh charge right there. Eagles looking to make something happen. And again, Chris Couch, he will remember this play for scooping up a fumble on senior day. Good job of being around the football and also picking up and almost returned it for a touchdown.
That is the first turnover for Old Dominion today. And that program record running game might be on hold.
I believe it is. I believe it goes against the run.
That play was just blown up. You saw Davion Rhodes, one of the 2 Eagles, to get there, and Hinnacles, the ball just popped out as Helton will throw that one away.
Georgia Southern looks a little disoriented right here. It seems like the play, I know you got new guys in, maybe they're not getting the play call, but half the line's blocking back, the other side's reaching, the receivers are not running. They need to get this kind of cleaned up, especially going into next week.
.223 to play. 2nd and 10 from the 22. Up the middle. Teo Todd inside the 5. The referee getting caught up in the mix. He went down. But Teo Todd, I mean, O.J. Arnold, he's a senior. And you got to start figuring out the future. Todd might be the next Arnold.
Yeah, he's selling his case for him. Look at that great burst right there. Shaking off a tackle. He kind of ran through the referee right there.
2-minute timeout.
But as you mentioned, though, these guys are playing for carries for next year and also for the last game.
Umpire Vaughn Cohen got shaken up on that run from Todd. It was a gain of 19 as we go to the 2-minute timeout. Eagles looking for a touchdown here on ESPN+. lead over Georgia Southern. Weston Bryant in at quarterback. Eagles at the red zone. First and goal from the 3. Bryant to the end zone, and he will score. Flag on the play. If it's on Old Dominion, the Eagles will get their first touchdown of the game.
Holding. Offense number 33. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And it's going back. Bryce Baker called for holding.
Yeah, again, Old Dominions, they're still playing hard. I'm sure they're glad for this holding call because they want to keep the Eagles out of the end zone. Not allowing a touchdown for 2 weeks in a row is something they're going to build on going into the last game. So this is going to be a hard-fought 10, 15 yards for the Eagles to get themselves into the end zone.
Yeah, that has to be a gut punch. Georgia Southern's fought so hard to try to get to the end zone. They finally found some momentum on this drive. And now they're back at the 13-yard line on first and goal following the holding call. Turner Helton back in at quarterback. Play action, throws near side to Amon Green, a tackle for loss. And it's Chris Forbes who gets there. And now for Georgia Southern, you're fighting for bowl eligibility in your final game of the year next Saturday at at Marshall.
Yeah, you're definitely fighting for the bowl eligibility. This game right here, you just got to kind of throw away, not even look at it, and get yourself focused on Marshall.
Under a minute and a half to go. Eagles back at the 19. Helton scrambles. Helton looking, still going. And he gets back to the 11. And there's 5 bowls for the Sun Belt tie-ins. Georgia Southern trying to find a way, especially they got to really go all out against Marshall next week. Look at the bowls here for the Sun Belt.
Yeah, if you're Georgia Southern, you want to be in one of them. So, like I said, going up to Marshall, and I believe Marshall leading at the half themselves, so it's going to be a hard-fought game. And the Eagles just got to get themselves together and put on a better performance than what you're seeing today.
As you mentioned, Marshall fighting for bowl eligibility, up 21-16 at the half against App State. Helton on third and goal. Touchdown! First touchdown pass and Eagle for Turner Helton. And the first touchdown in his career for Dylan Gary.
Man, that was a nice route right there by Dylan Gary. Get to the top of his route, sticks his left foot in the ground. That ball's on time. Great throw by Helton. Something they can look to build off of possibly for next year as well. But for the Eagles, I know it's a relief to get themselves on the board and also having someone who has not caught a touchdown before just to build confidence.
Gary, the transfer from West Georgia, getting his first touchdown in the Eagles uniform, and Turner Helton, first passing touchdown as an Eagle. PAT makes it 45-10.
Helton drops back and hits his back foot and lets that ball go, throws it on a rope. The receiver just boxing out. Good job of pulling that ball in for the touchdown.
So now, the Eagles officially get a touchdown after the initial Weston Bryant run was called back due to a holding penalty. So it won't be a shutout for the Monarchs. They still played a great game, but Georgia Southern finally getting a touchdown here in this game.
Yeah, I know the Monarchs are probably upset with themselves for letting that touchdown go through. I'm sure they thought they were going to pitch a shutout game as far as touchdowns. Probably the latest touchdown for Georgia Southern ever scored for their first touchdown of the game, coming with 30 seconds left. Overall, great performance by Old Dominion today, coming into Paulson Stadium, coming out with a win.
One bright spot for Georgia Southern. Their catch was called. 29 seconds. Old Dominion very well just need this one to get out of Statesboro with a win.
Yeah, I think they're going to take a knee, even though they were close to that rushing title. I believe they're going to get out here, try to be healthy, and get ready for next week.
Second most rushing yards in Monarchs history, 380 here in Statesboro.
Well, they're about to lose some with this direct snap to the quarterback, so put him at 375.
Nonetheless, just what a performance overall for the Monarchs. Will improve to 8-3 on the year.
Yeah, that's just dominating fashion what they've done today. And it speaks volume for their team. They're getting better and better each week. This is a team I would not want to play for the last game of the season or their bowl game.
Fourth straight win as Holden Brown leading it out. And now Georgia Southern will drop to 5-6, 3-4 in the Sun Belt. It's all or nothing next Saturday on the road at Marshall. Not the senior day that Georgia Southern wanted in their final home game here in Paulson Stadium. Old Dominion dominant. Final score 45-10. Georgia Southern, worst home loss in program history.
Yeah, that speaks volumes after the game they come off with, where they went back and forth with Coastal, and just kind of shows you how good this Old Dominion team is to come in, beat Georgia Southern by 35 points.
Eagles have to do a lot of regrouping, got to put this game behind. And now, this is not the first time the Eagles have been in this situation. Back in Clay Helton's first year, it took to the final game of the year against App State to fight for bowl eligibility. They'll do that in year 4 under Helton to try to reach a bowl game for the 4th straight year.
Yeah, for the Eagles, they just got to push all their chips in. Everybody's got to buy in for this last game. Again, especially the seniors, you got a chance to extend your season to play one more football game, which is something that you're going to always remember. So they got to get themselves ready. And for Old Dominion, they're riding high as they go back home looking for their last game.
Monarchs will close out the season against Georgia State. They have a chance to, if things go well, finish the year overall with 10 wins. Be the most wins since 2016. Already the best season in head coach Ricky Ronnie's career. And Sky Taylor is standing by for our player of the game, Monarchs quarterback Colton Joseph.
Colton, you set a career high today, 189 yards on the ground. How were you able to get it done?
Yeah, I mean, offensive line up front was just, moving the D-line back the whole game. They were, open up holes for me to run, and, that's what their game plan coming to the game was, run the ball and pass off of it, and it was working, so just kept turning yards.
You had your breakout performance against Georgia Southern last season. What is it about playing this team that allows you to play so efficient?
Just got to thank my teammates and my coaches for making a good game plan for us to come out here and do what we did, and just stay on track every play, not taking any negative yards or any turnovers. So that was good. Yeah.
This win marks the first time since 2016 the Old Dominion has had 8 wins in a season. What does that say about the bond of this group?
Yeah, no, it's a great group. It's fall camp, spring ball. I knew, these guys that came in and everyone else that was here previously, I knew it was going to be a good group. We all bonded really well, and I just love playing ball with these kids, and it's a great feeling to have a good team behind you.
Colton, thank you so much. Congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Awesome. Love it. Appreciate it.
Old Dominion now winning their 4th straight game. 551 yards of total offense, 376 on the ground, 189 from Colton Joseph, a career high for the sophomore quarterback. Monarchs will head home to get ready for their final game of the year against Georgia State, while Georgia Southern have to turn their sights to Marshall to fight for bowl eligibility. That'll do it from Paulson Stadium. For Jason Foster and Sky Taylor, I'm Danny Wall. Final score, Old Dominion 45, Georgia Southern 10. All games on the ESPN Network, airing and streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.